Tonight from Truist Field in uptown Charlotte, North Carolina. Welcome to college baseball. Today it's the Charlotte 49ers taking on the Clemson Tigers. Now the home of the AAA Charlotte Knights tonight is the home away from home for the Charlotte 49ers. They head about 20 minutes down I-85 from the campus to have a rematch with the Clemson Tigers here tonight. Taking a break from conference play from the ACC for the Tigers and the American Conference for the 49ers. Charlotte coming in right now 18-17 overall in the season, but 3-9 in conference play. Just got swept over the weekend by the Rice Owls at Hayes Stadium. The Clemson Tigers right now 23-14 on the season and 5-10 in the ACC, and at this point of the year having a little bit of a down year for the Tigers. These two teams, as I mentioned, have played one time previously this season. That was at Clemson, and it was really the first week of the year. It was on the 17th of February, and in that game, the Clemson Tigers beat the Niners 11-1. It was a 10-run rule win. That game only lasted 7 innings. Right now, you got both of the team's head coaches meeting with the umpires at home plate, getting ready for this one. We've already had the national anthem. These two teams, two good hitting ball clubs, and Charlotte comes into this game as a team hitting .305. The Clemson Tigers just below 300 at .291. And you look at this Charlotte team, they've had all kinds of injuries they've had to deal with this season, including shortstop Dawson Bryce, who preseason American Conference Player of the Year, goes down with a hand injury, still not available for Coach Woodard. They hope to get him back in the very near future, but he's not going to be available for this one here tonight. And they lost their catcher over the weekend, Cale Strickland, in that game against Rice on Saturday, game 2 of that 3-game series. Got hit with a follow-through on a swing and is in concussion protocol right now, so he is unavailable tonight. Got a couple of players, the Niners, that have been playing out of position, getting back to a more familiar spot defensively here tonight. But still some guys having to chip in spots where they're not accustomed to playing at this time of the year. And again, both teams trying to get things going back in a more positive direction. The Niners got off to a great start this season back in February and March. Off to one of their best starts in program history, frankly, but all these injuries have really added up and mounted up, and it's been a bit of a struggle, coming off that last series against the Rice Owls. Close games, but just couldn't get over the hump in any of those three, losing 7-5 on the openers, 6-2 on Saturday, and then a close 1-run loss on Sunday afternoon, 3-2. So in all those games, the previous game, which was the midweek game last week at number 5 North Carolina, close game again, but the Niners came up short in that one by a final count of 8-4. Pitching matchup for this one here today, Sebastian Perez will be the starter for the Charlotte 49ers, and Dane Moeller is going to get the baseball for the Clemson Tigers. We're waiting, the Niners taking the field. Going to come back after this short break, get you the batting order for the Tigers, and get this game here in uptown Charlotte underway from Truist Field. Niners and Clemson coming up next on ESPN+.
My friends, please welcome to the diamond,
Welcome back to Truist Field, getting ready for baseball here tonight. The Clemson Tigers, the road team in this one against the Charlotte 49ers. And here's the Tigers batting order. The head coach of the Tigers is Erik Bakich. That's the lineup he's put together. 4th season as the Tigers head coach. And on the mound for the Charlotte 49ers is Sebastian Perez. His first pitch of the game is lifted to shallow right center. It's going to drop, and that is a base hit for Bryce Clavon leading off for the Tigers. And that leadoff spot came into the game hitting .256. He jumps on Perez's first pitch, and he bloops one out to right field for a single. So a leadoff hit for Clemson. And now Tristan McClatty, the right fielder. Going to look at some of the numbers from Sebastian Perez, who has started before, but not this season. He's been pitching exclusively out of the bullpen. This will be his 14th appearance and his first as a starting pitcher. No record, 6.10 ERA. He's thrown 20 2/3 innings out of the pen this season. 26 hits, 14 earned runs, 11 walks, and 19 strikeouts. And opposing hitters are batting .306 against Perez. Perez is a senior. Working out of the stretch, he'll face McClatty, and the first pitch is going to be inside, ball 1. Aaron Orozco is the catcher tonight. Again, I mentioned at the top of the broadcast that Cale Strickland went out with a concussion against Rice over the weekend, this past weekend. So Orozco is getting the start behind the dish. Perez pitches. That one's going to be down low. And the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Fastball, cutter, changeup, a 3-pitch pitcher. That one a changeup. Playing first base, Dylan Kuntz, who does a lot of DHing, but playing first base tonight, holding on the runner. And now ball 3 is a sinker up and away. So Perez falling behind, 3-0. Nate Savoy, the designated hitter for the Tigers, is on deck. And then Luke Gaffney, who's hitting cleanup tonight. Perez, third base side of the rubber, delivers low and inside. Fastball again at 92, but after a bloop single on the first pitch of the game, now a 4-pitch walk. And Perez is in a little bit of first inning hot water. And now the batter is Nate Savoy. Tigers try to jump on Charlotte early. And they beat the Niners 11-1 back in February. Savoy's the designated hitter, and he comes into the game batting .322 on the season. He takes strike 1. So first pitch changeup by Perez gets him ahead. Savoy has 11 home runs and 40 RBIs. Of course, this is a really good hitting ballpark, and right now there's a nice light breeze blowing out of the park to center field. Temperature in the low 80s at the start of the game. Here's a chopper over the mound. That's going to be a tough one, and no play. That'll be an infield single. A little Baltimore chop over the mound, and the first baseman, Kuntz, coming over to field it, but he had nowhere to go with the baseball. Perez trying to get over to cover, but there was no chance at getting Savoy at first. And now they've loaded the bases with nobody out, and it brings up Gaffney. Take a look at it again. Big Baltimore chop over the mound, and Kuntz, nice job to get to it, but really made the smart play. Didn't throw it. He had nowhere to go with it. Made that bluff to third, hoping that Clavon maybe would overround the bag, but he did not. And now Gaffney stands in, first pitch swinging, little dribbler. They're going to go to first base, and it's a wide throw. He did not come home. He elected to go to first base, and Gunderson's throw pulled the first baseman off the bag, but they still got the out. A run will score, and the Tigers take a 1-0 lead. Now, had he come home, there was a good chance at maybe getting the 5-2-3 double play, but he elected to go to first base. Does get the out at first, 5-3. Good job by Kuntz to get back to the bag. And now here comes Jacob Jarrell. First pitch missing down. So there's really not been a hard hit ball yet, but the Tigers have a 1-0 lead. Gerald, a catcher, hitting .266. Big cut and miss, and now the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Tigers now with runners on second and third base. One away, top of the first. Righty against a righty. This pitch just missing off the inside. And Gerald on top of the plate. It almost nicked his jersey. That jersey bloused into his baseball pants, and it almost got him on the part of the jersey that's kind of hanging over his belt. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a fly ball well hit to left field. That one's going to get up to the wall and out of the ballpark. Just getting up over the big wall into the picnic area. A 3-run home run by Gerald. That'll be his 14th of the year. And the Tigers jump on Perez and the Niners at the top of the first inning and take a 4-0 lead. Take a look at that again. Right in his wheelhouse, about knee high. He turned on it, and it just does clear that railing above the wall. A fan almost made the catch off his hands, but somebody else picked up the souvenir behind him. And now the Clemson Tigers, 5 hitters into the game, have a 4-0 lead, and Charlotte already with action down in the bullpen. First one here, up and outside, ball 1 on Tyler Lichtenberger, the Tigers shortstop, and it's going to bring out a visit to the mound. All the infielders out there as well. So action down to the Charlotte bullpen. Adam Stanton, 5th-year senior from Minnesota, is warming up in the bullpen right now, right-hander. So in this inning, that bloop single on the first pitch, then a walk on 4 pitches put McClatty on. Savoy got a base hit. RBI ground out by Gaffney, and a 3-run home run by Jacob Gerald. Pitch to Lichtenberger, and that'll be outside, ball 1. Now 2-1 with that foul off the left side. Lichtenberger batting .273. He's hit 1 home run, 21 runs knocked in. And he takes up a high strike. Now 2-2. Change up that time. Right at the belt. Pitch to Lichtenberger, missing inside with a cutter. Now it's 3-2. The bases are empty following the home run. Jason Foltz Jr. is on deck. 3-2, fouled off in the box. Has that shin protector on his lower right leg, but I think that one might have got him on top of his shoe, on top of his foot. He'll shake it off. Take a look at it again. Yeah, right off the inside of his right foot. And ball 4 is off the plate. Went cutter again, leaving it off the plate. And now Lichtenberger's on base with a walk. Second walk by Sebastian Perez. And now Foltz is going to make his way to the plate. Jason Foltz Jr., Tigers' third baseman. .317, a home run, 8 RBIs. Foltz only a freshman. It's a younger lineup that the Tigers have out there tonight than Charlotte. Pitches inside. In fact, Foltz and Jackson Moore on deck are 2 freshmen. Lichtenberger's a sophomore. Savoy had a base hit earlier in the inning. He's a sophomore. And Clavon, the leadoff hitter, he too is a sophomore. The count 1-0 on Foltz. And going out to the mound is head coach Robert Woodard in his 7th season. And we'll see if he makes a change here. He's got the pitcher in the bullpen just about ready. In Charlotte's bullpen, Adam Stanton finishing his tosses down there. Judge Woodard talking to his catcher now. That's Aaron Orozco tonight. And after all that, they'll take the baseball. And we'll bring in the new pitcher, Adam Stanton, coming in out of the bullpen. And tonight's starting pitcher for the Niners only gets one out in the first inning. Tigers have a 4-0 lead. So for Sebastian Perez, a third of an inning. The runner on base is still his responsibility, so his line is not complete. At the moment, 3 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks. The runs are earned. Gave up the 3-run homer. And Lichtenberger on base is still his responsibility. So now the new pitcher is Adam Stanton, 6'3", 230, fifth-year senior. The right-hander is from Eagan, Minnesota. And he played at Iowa Western before becoming a 49er. He'll take over a 1-0 count that Foltz has. Clemson got 11 in the first meeting back in February and off to a good start so far today, but a lot of baseball left to be played tonight. The all-time series between Charlotte and Clemson stands 17-4 in favor of the Tigers. Stanton's 16th appearance of the year, 1 win, 1 loss, 3.26 ERA. Just over 30 innings of work, 29 hits allowed. He's walked 8, struck out 26 hitters. And they go to him here in the first inning. Good look there at the Clemson dugout. Clemson in the orange jerseys tonight with the purple caps and the orange bill on those caps. The white pants. Charlotte in their home whites with the green cap. Stanton finishing up his warm-ups. Lichtenberger at first base has that sliding mid on his left hand, held on by Kuntz. And the count is 1-0 on Jason Foltz Jr. Be a right matchup as they bring Stanton in. The second baseman Nedry is playing up the middle. The outfield straight away for Charlotte. Left side of the infield playing to pull, and the 1-0 is going to be high, ball 2. Jackson Moore is next, and then the number 9 hitter, Jay Dillard. The count 2-0. And this one is going to be a little bit high. Snap throw down to first base. Nathan Hamlet is the home plate umpire today. Got a 4-umpire crew. Now the 3-0. He takes all the way and takes a strike. A 3-0 changeup from Adam Stanton. Fastball, slider, change pitcher. It'll be a 3-1. The runner on first takes off. Pitch, a strike, throw down is going to be in the dirt. Gets by the second baseman. It's a stolen base for Lichtenberger. Played back in by the center fielder. Spencer Nolan getting that ball back in and keeping Lichtenberger on second base. But now the Tigers have another runner in scoring position. That takes away the possibility of a ground ball double play. Count 3-2 on Foltz. Now the pitch. Ground ball to the second baseman. That's bobbled, and Nedry cannot make the play. Everybody is safe. That'll be an error on the second baseman. Over to third base goes Lichtenberger. So had they not had that stolen base, it could have been a potential double play ground ball. Well, the stolen base took that away, and then the error, and everybody is safe. See, the hop kind of came up and got him above his glove. A little bit of a high hop. Now runners on first and third, brings up the 8th place hitter, Jackson Moore. Moore's hitting .267. And the lefty takes the first one down low. 1 home run, 7 RBIs for Moore. He's a freshman. Foltz at first base is a threat to run. He's got 8 stolen bases, 8 out of 12. Here's a strike. Curveball that time. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike on Jackson Moore. Jay Dillard, the 9th place hitter, is on deck. There's more action down in the bullpen for Charlotte. Now you got a lefty up and throwing here in the first inning. 4-0 Tigers. Pitch is hit out towards the gap in right center. And that's going to split the outfielders and go to the wall. And coming in to score is going to be Lichtenberger. Foltz right behind him. Throw goes to third, but the runner stopping on second is Moore with a 2-run double. And now the Tigers have a 6-0 lead in the top of the first inning. Lichtenberger charged to Perez. That last run charged to Foltz. That's an unearned run with the error that allowed Foltz to reach base. So Stanton charged with that run of Foltz. And now Jay Dillard. So Moore with his second double of the year now has 9 RBIs. Dillard's the 9th hitter of the inning, and he takes a strike. Only 1 out in this inning. So they've sent everybody up and might bat around. Moore leading away at second base. Here's that lefty warming up in Charlotte's bullpen. And now a balk has been called on Stanton. The runner kind of got hung up. He was off the bag and got Stanton's attention. And then Moore was breaking back to the bag, and in doing so, Moore had a little hitch and gets called for a balk. And that puts Moore over at third. So if it could go wrong, it has gone wrong in the first inning for the 49ers. 6-0 Tigers. Here's a ground ball to the shortstop. They're going to come home. They send the runner from third. Dangerous slide. He's going to be out. So Moore's out of the plate. The shortstop Jimenez coming home. Take a look at it again. It brought the infield in. The ball hit the mound, took a great hop. The throw was right there. And really an awkward, dangerous slide by Jackson Moore, and he's out 6-2. Second out of the inning. Here comes the top of the batting order. Up for a second time, Clavon, who opened the game with the first pitch single and scored the first run of the inning. Now throw to first base, and getting back at the bag is Dillard. That's a fielder's choice, by the way, for Dillard. And the out again, 6-2 at home plate. 10th hitter of the inning. Pitch is cut out and missed. A good slider. Close the book on Sebastian Perez as well. 5 runs in a third of an inning. Again, a throw over. Dillard diving back in there. One strike on Clavon, and the pitch hit him. Change up and just nicked him. And Clavon is on base for a second time. Down to second, Dillard. We've got a balk, a hit batter, an error, a couple of walks, 4 hits and a home run. So there's been a lot going on here in the top of the first inning. And now here comes McClatty, who walked and scored earlier in the frame. 6-0 Tigers. McClatty batting .339. He's got some pop, 8 home runs, 35 RBIs. Takes the first one at the knees, a curveball, strike one. With 2 out, hitters are batting .289 against Stanton this season. 2 outs right now, first and second, top of the opening inning. And here's a strike. He gets ahead 0-2. Shot of Clavon leading away at first base, and at second is Dillard. Stanton sets to the letters, and the pitch is pulled into the Charlotte dugout, far side near the camera well. Stays 0-2. Came with a slider that time. Claddy's not seen a fastball yet in this at bat. This will be the 16th pitch since Stanton has come in. 5th hitter he's faced. Swing and a foul at home plate. So McClatty stays alive up there. Count 0-2. Charlotte's infield playing him to pull. Now Todd Hudson in left field, very shallow. Second baseman Nedry on the cut of the outfield grass. This one is popped up on the infield. So he's going to call for there. And as a third baseman, Gunderson coming over, making the catch, and that's the final out in the Clemson half of the first inning. The Tigers end up sending 11 to the plate. They scored 6 times, including a 3-run home run. And after a half inning here in Charlotte, it is 6-0 Tigers.
For your next group event, swing by the ticket sales table to learn more and secure your group tickets today.
Now Charlotte coming up here in the bottom of the first inning, trying to get on the board and get back into this one. They gave up 6 in the top half. Here's the batting order for the 49ers. Spencer Nolan leading off in center field. Then Todd Hudson in left. Cody Gunderson, the third baseman. Dylan Kuntz at first base is the cleanup hitter. Then you got DiMartino in right field. Robert Nedry, the second baseman. Adrian Jimenez at short. Aaron Orozco is the catcher. And Johnny Sutrick bats ninth. He is the designated hitter. And that lineup's going to face Dane Moeller, the starting pitcher for the Clemson Tigers. And his first one is fouled away by Nolan, who's batting .327. 1 home run, 19 RBIs. 6 runs on 4 hits in the top of the first for the Tigers. Here's a shot up the middle. That'll be a base hit for Nolan. So Charlotte gets a leadoff single, just like the Tigers did. And we'll see how this first inning plays out for the 49ers. So Nolan is on. Here comes Todd Hudson. So for Dane Moeller, he's coming off Tommy John surgery on his pitching elbow. Only 16 pitches in his last outing, couple of innings. He might be allowed to go as high as 30 pitches here today. So he's not going to be out there deep into this game tonight, but has thrown the ball well as of late for the Tigers coming back from the Tommy John surgery. 1 ball, no strikes on Hudson, who's hitting .354. The senior has 5 home runs, 27 runs knocked in. Left-handed batter. Third baseman Foltz is in on the grass. Here's a tapper, and the pitcher's going to get it and go to first. So Moeller gets the out at first base. Nolan down to second. Put out 1-3. Now in the top half of this inning, updated some scoring. On that fielder's choice, I had said 6-2. As you look at Moeller's numbers, again, it's his 5th start, but very limited innings and pitches, so he's not had a lot of live game action, even though he's made 4 starts before tonight. Cody Gunderson is the hitter, and he takes outside ball 1. First pitch cutter. Gunderson's hitting .331, 7 home runs, 26 RBIs. So on that out of the plate, getting more at the plate, it was 4-2. The second baseman, Nedry, with that throw, not the shortstop, Jimenez. And I'll tell you why in a moment, why I thought it was the shortstop. Pitch outside. My day job is the AAA Charlotte Knights. Well, in professional baseball, you can't shift like you can in college baseball. And the second baseman would not have been lined up where he was had this been a Knights game. You have to, like the major leagues, keep 2 players on each side of the second base bag. They're also not allowed to have their feet on the outfield grass, where in college you can. Runner on second right now is Spencer Nolan. There's a few differences I have to get used to here tonight. Pitch in for a strike. Now 2-2. Dylan Kuntz on deck. Jarrell hitting the home run, a big 3-run homer. That took it from 1-0 to 4-0. He's the catcher, gives a target now for Moeller. And this one fouled back, fastball at 92. And the count stays 2-2. A win by the Tigers, they get back to 10 games over 500. Charlotte trying to get something rolling, pick up their 19th win of the year and split the season series with Clemson. Got some work to do, but plenty of time to try and climb their way back into the ball game. If you're going to give up 6, the best time to do it is early. You got all those at bats to try and chip away and get back in it. 2-2 on Gunderson. Pitch is hit on the ground to the right side. That'll move the runner. And Dillard, the second baseman, makes the play to first. And down to third goes Spencer Nolan. 2 outs in the inning. And we'll see if the Niners can pick up a 2-out RBI hit. You look at the defense for the Tigers. Jacob Jarrell behind the plate. In the outfield, Moore, Clavon, and McClatty from left to right. Foltz at third. Lichtenberger at short. Jay Dillard at second. Luke Gaffney's the first baseman. Dylan Kuntz going to pop this one up to short, and that's going to end the inning as Lichtenberger is able to make the catch with his sunglasses on top of his baseball cap. Leadoff single, but that's it. Charlotte leaves 1 after 1 full. Clemson has a 6-0 lead.
Well, it is time for our Chick-fil-A Wheel of Pounds, and we're going to give that wheel up on the video board a quick spin and see what we land on here tonight. Looks like our Wave Hello cam, so smile and wave hello if you see yourself up on the big screen. Say hey guys, everyone.
for the Tigers here in the
Back in uptown Charlotte, top of the second, Clemson has the early lead 6-0. Adam Stanton is back on the mound to start this second inning. He came in out of the bullpen and faced the 7th hitter of the game. Starting pitcher Sebastian Perez went a third of the first inning. So now Stanton back out for the top of the second. His first pitch is inside ball 1 on Nate Savoy, who had a base hit his first time. Activity again in the bullpen. There was a lefty throwing at the end of the first. He has sat down. Now a right-hander is warming up in the Charlotte bullpen. Here's a strike. Now before the game, Coach Robert Woodard told me just about everybody is available. They don't want to use everybody, but he's got some arms available here today. And unfortunately, the starting pitcher didn't get him very deep into the game. You'd like to see Stanton be able to get a few outs here. Ground ball to third. And they get the out at first base. Savoy's retired to open up the second. Nice throw by Cody Gunderson.
Stepping into the batter's box, number 16, first baseman Luke Gaffney.
So here comes Gaffney. Knocked in the first run with a ground out. And the bases were loaded on that play. Kind of a weak grounded at third. They elected not to come home. Pitch to Gaffney. And it's outside ball 1. First pitch slider. Now they weren't playing the infielders in, but they definitely had a play at the plate had they wanted to try. Got the out at first. Here's a strike. Jacob Jarrell's on deck. He belted the big home run that stretched out the lead. Got the second baseman, Nedry, playing on the shortstop side of the bag at second base. There's that shift I was telling you about. Here's a slow ground ball to the shortstop. Jimenez comes in, makes the play, put out 6-3, but the second baseman, Nedry, was also right in the neighborhood there. But Jimenez cutting in front. Used to see a lot of that all across baseball, but Major League Baseball taking that away at the big league level and in the minor leagues where you cannot put that big exaggerated shift on. But at the collegiate level, you can still do it. And Charlotte taking full advantage of the opportunity. Here's Jarrell, 3-run homer his first time, and he pops this one on the first base side, foul up on the netting. Back through the netting and back into the seats. The home run he hit gives him 14 for the year. It was out to left field. Just cleared the big wall into the picnic area. 3-run homer, now 35 RBIs. Stanton trying to bounce back with a clean inning here in the second. And he's going to get it. High fly ball. This one towards the center fielder. Nolan to his left. And he makes the catch, and that'll do it. 3 up, 3 down. Nice bounce back right there by Adam Stanton. We go to the bottom half of the second. Charlotte coming up. They trail 6-0.
Charlotte's hometown storage option and proud longtime partner of your Charlotte Knights. By innovation, head to section 104 and check out the Barnes & Noble table. Get yourself geared up to help cheer on the learners. That's section 104.
Now the Tigers have the early lead, and Moeller back on the mound. Nobody warming up in the Tigers bullpen yet, but again, he's on very limited pitch number tonight. Gave up a leadoff single to Spencer Nolan, but then got the next 3 to get out of the first inning. Going to face 5, 6, and 7 for Charlotte here in the bottom of the second. Leading off the right fielder, Alec DiMartino. DiMartino's hitting .323, 6 home runs, 30 RBIs. Mentioned at the top of the broadcast, this Charlotte team can swing the bats, and you look at their lineup, and you know, the top 5, everybody's hitting well over 300. Half swing, he went around, 1 ball and 1 strike. Here you got Nedry next, he's hitting .293. So some guys that can swing the bat. Here's the 1-1. Little dribbler up the line at third, but it's off his foot, foul. Folds coming in to grab it. They'll throw that ball out and get a new one over to Dane Moeller. DiMartino deep in that right-handed box, but stands up on the plate, and he takes down low. So 2-2. Activity continuing, and now crowded down to the bullpen for Charlotte. Double barrel action, a lefty and a righty. Here's the pitch. Swing and a high fly ball center field. Clavon coming in, coming over towards his left side, and makes the catch. That'll be out number 1. So a lefty and a righty throwing in the Charlotte bullpen. Left-hander A.J. Camp. There's Robert Nedry, the second baseman. .293, 3 home runs. He's knocked in 18 on the year, and he hits this one hard, but to the second baseman. Dillon on his glove side, scoops it up, throws to first, and that'll be the second out. Now 5 in a row retired by Moeller. And to the plate now is Adrian Jimenez, the Charlotte shortstop. As Nedry makes his way back into the Charlotte dugout on the first base side of Truist Field. Here's Jimenez, the Georgian native. He's batting .254. Has those bright neon pink batting gloves. 93 on the first one, missing off the plate inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Jimenez does have a home run. He's knocked in 14. And now this one down low. Didn't miss by much. 2-0. Roscoe is next, and then Sutrick, as we're now in the lower third of the Charlotte batting order. Clemson getting 6 in the first. Niners trying to get on the board here in the second. And the pitch is ball 3 up high. So now Jimenez with 2 outs trying to start a rally. Trying to get on base. See if he takes here 3-0. He does, and it's a strike on the inside, a 4-seam fastball. Still a hitter's count, 3-1. We'll see what Moeller wants to throw here. Working off the first base side of the rubber, out of the full windup. And he throws it down the middle. Sinker that splits the plate at the knees, and he's back in the count now, 3-2. So now Jimenez has to protect. Base is empty. The payoff delivery is low and inside, just missed, and it's ball 4. So a good take by Jimenez, and that is the first walk allowed by Moeller. Brings up Orozco. Aaron Orozco hasn't played a lot this year. 11 at bats, 3 for 11, .273 average with a couple of RBIs. Right-handed batter getting his first look at Dane Moeller. Might be his only look at Moeller, because there's activity now in the bullpen for the Tigers, and again Moeller on a very short pitch count tonight. Right-hander delivers, swing and a miss. First pitch curveball, good hook that time. Got a lefty in the bullpen warming up. That's Bell, Talon Bell. He'll be the next one in whenever his time comes here tonight. Foul ball left side, 0-2. Was told before the game that Bill was going to be the one coming in whenever Moeller's night was over. So the lefty now getting loose. If not for this inning, most likely in the bottom of the third. Count is 0-2 on Orozco. The pitch. Fastball outside. 93 just off the plate. Gerald trying to frame it. So now 1-2. The center fielder, Clavon, kind of shading his eyes. Tough setting sun here in uptown Charlotte this time of day. Same in right field. The shadows are past the pitcher's mound right in front of the second base bag right now. First base in the shadows. Third base out in the shadows. There's Clavon in center. Not shading his eyes at the moment. Does have his glasses on. You can see the reflection of the setting sun off his glasses. But in this ballpark, this time of day, center field and right field are difficult. 1-2 is outside, gets away from Gerald. That'll be a wild pitch, and down to second is Jimenez. So second consecutive inning, the Niners get a base runner in a scoring position. They left Nolan at third in the first inning. Trying to pick up a 2-out run right now. Orozco again 3 for 11 this season. Looking for a 2-out hit. The count 2-2. Moeller deals, and it's fouled back. Got a fastball. Pretty good swing at that one. Fouled it back, and it stays 2-2. And just tuning in, Dane Moeller coming back off of Tommy John surgery. They've been very careful with him this season. He's pitching in his 5th game, but just limited pitches each outing, and he throws a fastball by him on a 2-2, getting a swing and miss, and strikes out Orozco and leaves a runner in scoring position for a second consecutive frame. So a good start to this one for the Tigers. We head now to the top of the third in uptown Charlotte. Clemson 6, Charlotte nothing.
Attendance will go home with a commemorative brick from the original Jerry Richardson Stadium. The fans will be able to enjoy face painting, yard games, and post-practice autographs. Hope to see you on campus this Saturday for the public's first opportunity to see the 26 Charlotte football team. Attention, please. Now pitching for Charlotte, number 29, Joseph Taylor. Taylor, number 29.
New pitcher for Charlotte, Joseph Taylor, coming in out of the bullpen. He becomes the 3rd Charlotte pitcher as we go to the top half of the 3rd inning. Sebastian Perez unable to get out of the 1st. Then Adam Stanton came in, went 1 2/3. And now they give the baseball to Joseph Taylor. 4 wins, 4 losses, 6.39 ERA, and 38 innings of work. He's given up 42 hits. He struck out 45, and he's walked 25. He'll face Lichtenberger, then Foltz and Moore. 6, 7, 8 in the Clemson lineup. Clemson put up 6 in the 1st, and now still on top 6-0 as we head to the top of the 3rd. There's more action in the Charlotte bullpen. Lichtenberger walking in the first inning, stole second and scored a run. He takes a strike. He was the last hitter that Perez faced. Perez walked him, then he threw one pitch to Fultz. It was ball one, and that's when they made the pitching change. Here's the 0-1 up high. One ball and one strike, and a foul ball pulled by the Niners dugout. Down by the catcher warming up the pitcher in the bullpen. Now, during a Charlotte Knights game, when there's somebody warming up in the bullpen, they have another reliever out protecting the catcher because the bullpens are very close. Now, Clemson apparently is doing that with a backup catcher, but I don't see anybody protecting that Niners catcher down the right field line. We had one during a Knights game just a few days ago where a line drive was smoked down by that bullpen, and luckily there was a relief pitcher there and he's able to knock it down. 1-2 the count on Lichtenberger. Pitch is outside, 2-2. The sun has peeked back out. And again, that'll be a challenge for the center fielder and the right fielder for about 20 more minutes. Pitch inside. Now 3-2. Fultz on deck. So Taylor taking over here in the third. He was ahead in the count. Now it's a full count. The wind up and the pitch hit hard on the ground of the second baseman. 3 hops. Nedry gobbles it up, and they get the out at first base. So Taylor able to retire the leadoff hitter here in the top of the third. And now Jason Fultz Jr. comes up for a second time. He reached base on an error by Nedry. Ground ball that took a hop up just above Nedry's glove and got him on his wrist back in the first inning. Extending the inning. Ball one now. Slider on the first pitch. Stanton had a nice 1-2-3 inning last inning, so he finished strong. Pitch inside, 2 balls and no strikes. The pitch by Taylor. Here it is, and it's going to be outside. So it runs to 3-0 on Fultz. Jackson Moore next. And a foul past the bag, and there's that catcher backing things up in the bullpen for the Tigers, making the stop of that foul ball. Making sure nothing gets close to his teammate. Off to his right side, the catcher that's warming up, Talon Bell, in that Tigers pen. Here's the 3-1, and it's over the head of Fultz. A curve that got away from Taylor, and it is ball 4. So Fultz goes to first base. 1 out walk. Tigers batting in the third. And now Jackson Moore comes up. Take a look at that pitch again. Just got away from him, and the catcher, Orozco, unable to cleanly grab it, but no harm as the runner stops at first base. So here's Jackson Moore, 2-run double his first time around. The Niners now put that big shift on with 3 infielders on the right side for the lefty. And the first pitch is down low. The shortstop, Jimenez, is a good, 15 feet now to the first base side of second base. Second baseman Nedry in the hole. And Kuntz, the first baseman, holding on the runner. Here's the throw, and getting back of the bag is Fultz, who does have 8 stolen bases. 8 out of 12. This one in the air to center field. Nolan will make the catch. It was hit right at him. He backpedaled a couple of steps, reaching up and making the grab.
Next up, swinging for Clemson, number 21, Jay Dillard.
Some of those balls hit right at a center fielder are some of the more difficult plays to make. Plus, you factor in the setting sun right now as he takes a look at his positioning chart. He does have glasses on. That certainly helped. 2 down, and the batter is Dillard, Jay Dillard. He had that fielder's choice in the play at the plate. The put out went 4-2. The second baseman, Nedry, making the throw home, and they were able to tag out Moore, who tried to score on that fielder's choice or that ground ball. Open stance for Dillard. Going to take a strike on the inside. First pitch slider. So Foltz at first base. Good look over there by Taylor. And a ball down low. Fastball that time missing. Down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Staff ERA for Charlotte coming into the game 5.74. In comparison, the Tigers at 4.29. Here's the 1-1 and a bunt attempt. He missed it. They throw to first behind the runner. And back safely is Foltz, but it is a strike on the bunt attempt by Dillard. He did offer in the count 1-2. Nathan Hamlet, the plate umpire, saying he did offer for a strike. So 1-2 the count on the second baseman for the Tigers. Now the pitch, and it's hit on the ground. Third base, off the bag to grab it is Gunderson. Throw to first low. Great pick at the bag by Dylan Kuntz, and that'll end the inning. He went into a split to reach out there and pick that low throw by Gunderson. They get the out and get out of the inning, working around that 1-out walk. We go to the bottom half of the third. Taking a look at that play again. What a stretch by Kuntz at first base. 6-0 Clemson after 2.5.
Leave the area and call 911 right away. Learn about the Roughnecks belt and signs of a leak at PiedmontNG.com/facts.
Take out your phones, everyone, and scan the QR code right up on our video board. It is time for our code selfie cam. So if you want to see yourself up on the big screen, well, this is your chance. Just scan the QR code right up there on our video board and join in on our code selfie cam. Here we go. What's up, everyone? Hey, Miles. We see you. Oh my goodness, that's a beautiful ring. Top left. A lot of Charlotte fans in the house, a lot of Clemson fans in the house as well. You guys showed up and showed out here tonight. Keep scanning the QR code right up on our big screen. Join in on our code selfie cam. All right, love it, y'all. Thanks so much for joining in on the fun. That was our selfie cam presented by our friends at Coca-Cola.
New pitcher for the Clemson Tigers. We go to the bottom of the third. Talon Bell coming in as he piggybacks the starter Dan Muller. And we knew Muller was not going to go too long in this game. He goes 2 innings and does his job. 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. So now Talon Bell, 17 innings this season. He's pitched to a high 9.53 ERA. No wins, no losses. Got up 21 hits in those 17 innings and 9 walks with only 13 strikeouts. So a lot of traffic on the bases when he's been out there. And that's probably why that ERA is just under 10. Johnny Sutrick's going to lead off for the 49ers. Ninth place hitter. He's the designated hitter tonight. Swings the first pitch and he fouls it away. Bell's a lefty. Not a big guy. He's 5'10", 185. Only a sophomore. He's from Florida. Into the windup. He delivers. And that's outside at 93. Activity in the Charlotte bullpen continues. It's going to scoreless inning from Joseph Taylor, and another guy throwing down in that bullpen. It'll be a 1-1, and it's low and inside. Again, a fastball. That was 91. Count 2-1. Top of the batting order is next for Charlotte, so it's going to be Spencer Nolan, then Todd Hudson. Outside, ball 3. There's Nolan on deck. 3-1 pitch. Here it comes. Down the middle, taken for a strike. That was a four-seamer at 92 miles an hour. So his fastball has been between 91 and 93. Has the big windup coming off the far third base side of the pitching rubber. And he throws one right at the knees on the outside half of the plate, and that will be a called third strike. So Sutrick is out. First strikeout for Bell. Second strikeout for Charlotte hitters. And now Spencer Nolan comes up for a second time as he faces a different pitcher. Got a base hit opening up the game for the Niners and was stranded on third base. There's a strike on the outside. That was 93 miles an hour. So one thing that's different tonight than what I'm used to is we got different ways of challenging things. Now, in professional baseball, we can challenge balls and strikes. Each team in the International League and the Major Leagues get 2 challenges. If you're successful in a challenge, you keep it. If you're not, you lose it. Then you get 1 more, and so on and so forth. You can't challenge balls and strikes in the college game. Pitch outside, 2-1 now at Nolan. But you can challenge other things that you can't challenge in professional baseball. And each team has 2 challenges, and if they're successful with their challenge, as you look at the first base umpire, you keep it. And just like professional baseball, if you're unsuccessful, you're down to 1, and you lose the next one, you're done for the night. Here's ball 3, 3-1. There's the Clemson Tiger mascot on the concourse, and folks having a good time here tonight. Beautiful night to be at the ballpark. 80-degree night. This one hit well out towards the gap in left center. It's going to get down, cut off by Clavon, the center fielder. Going to try for 2. The throw in is a little bit late, and safe at the bag is Spencer Nolan with a double. Good hustle out of the box. He was thinking 2 bases as soon as he hit it. And even though Clavon was able to cut that ball off and make a pretty good throw, the hustle by Nolan gets him a 2-bagger, 2-base hit. That'll be his 10th double this season. So Clavon cut it off, made a decent throw. Now he almost came off the bag. Got some help by the umpire, reaching for the umpire to prop himself up. And now the batter is Todd Hudson. Charlotte trying to get on the board here in the 3rd. Pitch in for a strike. Nolan is now 2 out of 2 in the ball game. Hudson is 0 for 1, grounding out to the pitcher in the 1st inning. Here's an off-speed pitch on the inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Clemson leads 6-0 as Charlotte's batting in the bottom of the 3rd. Cody Gunderson is on deck. Next one down low, a slider missing. And the count runs to 2-1. Can't get all the runs back with 1 swing of the bat, but just start chipping away, and before you know it, you're right back in the ball game. A lot of baseball left here tonight. Only in the 3rd inning. It'll be a 2-1. Breaking ball pulled up the line, foul. Turned on it. He was out in front. down to the Charlotte bullpen, and the count evens up now 2-2 on Hudson. Hudson's had a good year at the plate, came in batting .354 in the season. He has 5 home runs. He's knocked in 27. It's a left-left matchup here. Pitch, breaking ball on the inside. Good take. That slider did not come back enough to catch the corner. And now the count is 3-2. Bell off the third base side of the rubber. Looks back at the runner at second base. 3-2 is hit on the ground right back at him. They've got Nolan hung up. Try and stay in it long enough to get the runner to second. He can't do it. Out in the rundown, tagged out, and Hudson just able to get to first base and no further. So no longer somebody in scoring position for the 49ers. Fielder's choice, and Nolan out with the rundown, and the pitcher making the play. You got to look at it right here. Does the right thing. He runs right at Nolan. He has nowhere to go. Runs him back to second, and then gets tagged out. So Nolan is the second out of the inning, and now here's Cody Gunderson. Foul ball right side. That was a really smart play there by Bell, just running right at Nolan. Not throwing it right away, just running right at him. He had nowhere to go. Here's the 0-1, foul ball. Fastball at 91 on the inside, jammed him. Now 2 strikes the count. Clemson has attacked these really good Charlotte hitters tonight. And Moeller and now Bell doing a nice job pitching out in front. Bell out in front right now, 0-2. Gunderson grounding out his first at bat. The kick and the 0-2 is outside. Slider up and away. Tigers not shifting, but the second baseman Dillard is playing way up the middle, but he is on the right side of the bag. Here's a foul ball over the Clemson dugout on the net, then back down to Charlotte's third base coach. There's a look at the defense for the Tigers with Dillard up the middle, but on the right side of the bag, the left side playing back, and the outfield pretty much straight away, maybe a step or two to the right side, with Gaffney holding on the runner. Pitch in the dirt. Nice stop by Jarrell. Saves a wild pitch. Two and two the count. This will be Bell's 20th pitch of the inning. Lefty sets out the letters and now throws, and it's fouled away. Just got to piece that change up. Stays alive. 2-2. Dylan Kuntz on deck. It'll be a 2-2. Swing and a fly ball to center field. And Clavon camps under it, makes a one-handed catch about shoulder high. And out go the 49ers. They cannot take advantage of the double by Nolan. They leave one. 3 in the books here tonight. Clemson 6 and Charlotte nothing.
Or visit TrueGreen.com to sign up today.
Advanced Charlotte football season tickets are on sale right now, starting as low as $125 for all 6 home games. The home schedule is stacked with premier American Conference matchups, including rival ECU, 2025 Conference champ Tulane, plus Memphis and Navy. So get your tickets today and reserve your spot for another fun year with the Queen City's college football team. attention, please. Called in the bullpen by Charlotte, pitch number 25 on the opening pitcher, J.D. Winter. Winter, number 25, now pitching for the 49ers.
And welcome back. We head now to the 4th inning. And Charlotte has a new pitcher. Jaden Winter is coming into work. And welcome back here at Truist Field. Matt Swarad with you. And here in the broadcast booth, we're joined by our new Charlotte Athletic Director, Kevin White. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, doing great. Doing great. It's a beautiful day for a ball game.
It sure is, and it's also unique for you because you came from Clemson. You've spent a lot of time with that Clemson orange, and you got a lot of friends over there, but now you're making friends on this side too.
Yeah, well, Eric Backus is a special coach. I mean, he does it the right way. I love the way that he approaches the game and how he coaches these guys. But, yeah, I'm proud to be a 49er. You know, Woody has got the guys, you know, they got a little work cut out for them today, but I think we're going to right the ship and end the season on the right note.
Sometimes it just takes that one great at bat to flip the narrative, and there's still a lot of baseball left here tonight. Couldn't take advantage of that one-out double last inning, but a lot of baseball before this one's over. But you're right, and this is a team, too, for the Niners that has been just crushed by injuries and trying to work their way through it. But I talked with Coach before the game, and he loves the character of this club, and he feels like they're going to pull out of it.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we got the right coach, right? I mean, these guys are resilient. They've dealt with a little bit of injury throughout the season, but I think they're made of the right stuff, and we're going to try to finish the year strong.
Claiborne leading off right now in this 4th inning for Clemson. They get all 6 of their runs in the first, and McClatty will be next, then Savoy. We're joined by Charlotte Athletic Director Kevin White. Now the 2-1 pitch is hit in the air, well hit to right field. DiMartino going back on the track. He will make the catch. One thing about this ballpark, I'm not sure how much time you've spent here over the years. It's a good hitter's yard.
Yeah. Not much time here, but it's a beautiful backdrop. I don't know that there's many ballparks of this caliber that's with this type of setting. And this particular type of day has just really been a pretty big event. So.
And it seems like every year we have 1 or 2 Niner games, so it's your home away from home. And
that's
as
right.
a recruiting piece, this is really nice to be able to sell to your guys, hey, you get to play in a AAA ballpark.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Charlotte's a top-notch city. I mean, it's a growing city. We talk about the stock is rising, but there's so many corporations here that really support us at the 49ers on our campus. Our campus is not too far from here. We have a presence down uptown, and so yeah, this is a big recruiting draw for Woody and the guys to be able to tell recruits they're going to play in a big-time ballpark and stadium, and so against really good competition.
This is Tristan McClatty, who's walked and scored and popped up to third. 1 out here in the top of the 4th inning. And a ground ball right to the first baseman. Good hop for Coons, who's played a good first here tonight. He spent most of his time this year as the designated hitter, but he's filled in nicely here tonight. Another guy playing out of position, but doing what he can do to help his team.
Yeah, we need guys like that. I mean, guys that are just willing to do whatever it takes in order to try to get a win. So, in terms of recruiting, if you can recruit those type of guys, those utility guys that can play more than one position and help their guys, help the team win in more than one way, those are the type of guys you want to get.
Here's Nate Savoy for the Tigers. And Winter trying to work a scoreless first inning out of the bullpen, misses with ball 1. So it's been a couple of months of the job now for you. How's the transition been, making the move with your family here to Charlotte?
Yeah, it's been 6 weeks, but who's counting? But it feels like 6 months. Yeah, things have been really great.
There's a shot to left.
Yeah, things have been really good. The fans have really supported us. The donors have stepped up in a big way. Really was excited about the Niner Nations Give, the 49 hours that we kind of stepped up as a department and had 90+% of our staff members that stepped up and gave during this Niner Nations Give. And so that's a really important message for our donors to say, hey, like, we're all in. You know, not only are we need you guys to support us, but we're supporting ourselves. So really excited about that. And hiring Wes Miller from Cincinnati, there's a lot of excitement around his arrival there. He's hit the ground running right in the middle of the transfer portal. So excited about football, of course. We got a big event this Saturday with our fans coming out Saturday morning. So things are clicking in the right direction for the Niners.
Here's a strike on Gaffney after the double by Savoy. We're joined by Athletic Director Kevin White here in the broadcast booth. And you spent a lot of time at Clemson. I know you had a lot of success down there in trying to take some of the things you did with that program and bring it here to Charlotte.
Yeah, you know, work with some really good guys and girls at Clemson. I mean, just really top-notch professionals, some of the best in the industry, in my opinion. You know, headlined by Graham Neff, who is a dynamic and just an awesome athletic director, but a friend and colleague. And so we were able to do a lot of great things there at Clemson, and some of it will translate here to Charlotte. But I think the thing that we want to bring here to Charlotte is that we never want to rest and be satisfied. And so we're always pushing the envelope. And the name of the game this time in college athletics is revenue generation. So we're just trying to raise as much as we can in order to support our teams and our coaches. And if we do that, I think we can have some success.
The hitter now is Jacob Jarrell, who homered back in the first inning. Also homered during the first meeting back in February as well. Grounded third. Another low throw, but a good pick at first base by Dylan Koontz. You got another half inning in you? You got time?
Yeah, sure thing.
Stick around. We'll talk more. That went by pretty quick. The Tigers did get a run, though. And as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning, the Tigers now lead Charlotte 7-0.
Sign up for Inner Circle Rewards at Circle K. Sign up and save today at Circle K.
Calling all future All-Stars to join Homer's Homies Kids Club. For just $49, kids can score tickets to every Sunday home game, plus awesome exclusive merch and special members-only perks, such as being the first to run the bases on Sunday. Don't miss out on the ultimate Kids Club experience. Scan the QR code to sign up today and be one of Homer's Homies.
Well, back at the ballpark, we head to the bottom half of the fourth inning. Charlotte coming up. They trail 7-0. We'll see if they can start chipping away at the Clemson Tigers. And back on the hill is Talon Bell with a scoreless inning in the fourth inning. Leading off is going to be Dylan Koontz, then DiMartino and Nedry. Koontz has played exceptional defense tonight at first base and 0 for 1 at the plate. We'll see what he can do against the lefty Bell this second at bat. Again, we're continuing our visit with Athletic Director Kevin White. As you mentioned, 6 weeks on the job, and happy belated birthday, by the way.
Thank you so much.
It's a perfect marriage. Your birthday is April 9th, 4-9. It couldn't get any better than that.
How about that? I didn't even realize it. Of course, I knew my birthday was on April 9th, but I didn't connect the dots between the two until I came in for the first day on the job, and I had to submit my paperwork. And one of the employees in HR said, "Hey, like, you're meant to be a 49er." I was like, "Yeah." And she said, "You know your birthday, right?" I said, "Oh my gosh, yeah, it is 4-9. I guess it is meant to be." That's a little God wink for me, a little God laughing at me. But it's been a great journey so far. I mean, the people have been so phenomenal, been great. The campus is absolutely beautiful. The leadership from Chancellor Gaber on down to Chancellor's Cabin, they've everybody's been so supportive.
You mentioned fundraising, how important it is right now in collegiate athletics. It always has been, probably more so now than ever. Being in such a vibrant city like Charlotte, you've got the NFL, the NBA, the MLS, AAA baseball. What does that do to help you guys sell what you're trying to do?
Well, first off, we're going to start with our alums. We have 189,000 alums at Charlotte. I'm tracking. Nope.
Foul ball.
189,000 alums at Charlotte, and 60% of them live within the Charlotte region. So there's a huge opportunity for us to continue to engage our alums. But then also, to your point, there's a lot of corporations here that are really invested in getting behind Charlotte's team. And we want to coin ourselves as Charlotte's team, Charlotte's college team. And so there's a lot of opportunity for people to really invest with the college that, was in their city. Because I think if we have a healthy and really vibrant and successful UNC Charlotte, then that's going to really lead to a lot of good things for these corporations that are here in the city of Charlotte.
Foul ball to count. 3-2 on Kuntz. Payoff pitch hit him. So a fastball at 91 rising on the inside, got him on his shoulder. He'll turn and go to first base. And now Alec DiMartino. So we'll see if the Niners can take advantage of the leadoff base runner, down 7 here in the 4th inning. DiMartino is 0 for 1. Winning, of course, plays a big part. We take a look at it again as it got him on his shoulder. Winning's a big part, and you talked about that at your introductory press conference. And you also referenced Wes Miller, who has won before everywhere he's been. And I know you're excited about him joining the program and being the face of that basketball program going forward.
Yeah, I'm excited about Wes, but I got to give him a hard time. I mean, he threw out the first pitch tonight, but he did not go to the mound. I mean, he went in front of the mound, and so I'm going to give him a hard time about that because he got it across the plate. He was scared that he wasn't going to be able to get it across the plate. He got it across, but so we're going to let him stick to basketball. But
it's hard, I'll tell you. It's intimidating. Jim Thome came here, the Hall of Famer came here and chucked it on the backstop.
I told Wes, I said, listen, man, you've been in the Final Four in front of 80,000 people, right? And you can't throw the ball across the plate from the mound. Like, what is that? But we're going to let him stick to basketball. We're really excited about him. I mean, he's been a winner everywhere he's been. I mean, even going back to his college days, he found himself to be able to walk on at North Carolina and be a team captain and win a national championship. But he's a grinder. He's a worker, and he's made of the right stuff. And just really excited for him to be able to continue to lead our program in the right way. It's going to be energy around the fan base. The fan base is really energized by his hire. The donors are really engaged and energized by his hire. And so he's going to put together a really, really good team. He's already put together a really, really good staff.
We know how competitive he is and driven to succeed. And, you played basketball as well. Hooper, I know you guys probably at some point there's going to be a pickup game. And neither one of you guys are going to want to lose.
No, he's a competitor like no other. But I don't know if I'll be playing him in the pickup game. I'll probably have to play him in horse or knockout or something a little less strenuous for me.
Tell us about the love of athletics. Again, you went to Carolina and played basketball. Your brother did as well. What made you want to stay in collegiate athletics and be an athletic director? It's not an easy job these days.
Not an easy job. It's definitely a lot different than it was when I got into this industry, nearly 20 years ago. But it really goes back to what I talked about a little bit in my press conference, is that my wife had she was an educator, she's a school teacher, and she really had an opportunity to pour into the lives of young people. And I would see lines of people line up after kindergarten graduations, after their kid graduated, and thank my wife for just turning on that light bulb, for learning for their kid. And I felt like something was missing, and I wondered what my purpose was in life. And so back in 2008, I decided to go to grad school at Georgia State University and start on the trek to become an athletic administrator. And I really feel like part of my purpose is, being able to help young people get to that next stage of life, being able to pour into them with positivity, helping them with connections and meeting people and helping them with jobs and resumes and getting to grad school and all those things. And so, yeah, we want to win. We're going to do a lot of that too. But I think the other part of my purpose in being in this role is to be able to help young people.
That's great stuff too, and so much nowadays people hear about is players want to be paid and things like that, and that's great. But it's also the collegiate experience and getting you ready to lead a life and be successful outside of college.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we can't lose focus or sight of what's really important, and it's for all these young people to leave these institutions with degrees. And so the fortunate thing for me is every place that I've been, we've led the country in graduation success rate, right? And so that's something that I hold very true to myself and to my core, and something that I want to make sure we continue at Charlotte.
Nedry bounced out to second. This is Adrian Jimenez on second base. Dylan Coons with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 7-0 Clemson. Now a balk has been called, and that moves Coons over to third before the inning wraps up. You mentioned football this weekend. A lot going on with the stadium and the expansion. And that's not going to be ready for the football season this year, but it's on plan for 27, correct?
Yes, it is. It is on plan for 27. We got a crane there on the campus now, so that means that this thing's about to get real serious. We had steel going to ground. I got a photo of that earlier today, and so things are progressing quite nicely for football this fall, but also the next fall. And just really excited about Tim and what he's able to, he thinks the right way, he coaches the right way, he's had success in the past, and so really excited to get behind him and see what type of season we have. I've been out to practice a couple times, and the guys are competing, they're playing hard, and so I think we got a chance. I think we got a chance to have a pretty good season, and I think it's going to be an improvement, obviously, from last year, and it's just about getting the right people on the bus and in the right seats, and looking forward to a really good season.
Same here. Fly ball to center field by Jimenez, and he'll grab it before we go to break. You still get those season tickets. And if you want to, start talking about getting those suites, right?
That's right. Get the season tickets now, get the suites, sign up for basketball, turn in your interest form there, and support all of our sports. But we're going to have an amazing spring coming down the stretch, and look forward to supporting the Niners and seeing everybody out in Charlotte and the postseason opportunities.
Kevin, thanks so much. Really enjoyed meeting you.
Thank you.
Continued success this spring season. Going to go to break, and former Clemson Tiger, now Charlotte 49er athletic director Kevin White after 4 here in Uptown. 7-0 Clemson.
Special welcome to the UNC Charlotte Alumni Association over in the picnic area. Nice to have you guys with us. We're here up here in the press box. Enjoy the game.
Well, back at the ballpark, we head to the top of the 5th inning. The shadows now taking full effect here at Truist Field. Jaden Winter back on the mound. Gave up a run in the 4th on a couple of hits. Now back out for a 2nd inning of work. And Tyler Lichtenberger is going to lead things off now. Pitches in there for a strike. Lichtenberger walked and scored in the 1st, stole a base as well, bounced out to 2nd base his 2nd time, so he's 0 for 1. Clemson leads 7-0 here in the 5th inning. Winter delivers, and that'll be in there for a strike. Activity continuing in the Charlotte pen. Now a lefty is loosening up. Winter's the 4th Charlotte pitcher so far. 7 runs on 6 hits for the Tigers. No runs, 2 hits, 1 error for the 49ers. It'll be an 0-2, and it's on the ground at 3rd. Backing up, taking the high hop. Gunderson, long throw, the stretch, and they got him. Boy, Coons has been fantastic. Really has. One down. That's a tough play at third, too. Watch this. The high hop and the third baseman, Cody Gunderson, backing up on it. Sometimes you back up in a ball like that, the ball kind of plays the fielder, but he was able to stay with it beautifully to his backhand and make a really good throw. And again, Kuntz on the receiving side with a good stretch. Here's a line drive towards right field. DiMartino coming over, angling from his right side, making the catch. And Foltz is out on one pitch. Slicing liner that DiMartino got a good jump on. And now here comes Jackson Moore. Jackson Moore, a 2-run double in the opening inning, but then he flied out his second time. So he's 1 out of 2. Lefty batter. Pitch to him is going to be outside at 91. One ball and no strikes. The wind up, and the next one is a little bit low. Change up just below the knees. It'll be a 2-0. Foul ball left side over the bullpen and back up in the seats. Just a beautiful night for baseball. Temperature in the low 80s at the start. Setting sun now shining on the skyline behind Truist Field in uptown Charlotte. Swing and a miss. Good changeup. So 2-2 the count. 2 outs, nobody on here in the top of the 5th. And the next one is hit in the air to center field. Nolan going back on it, and he'll make the catch. Nolan back out in his more comfortable center field because of all the injuries that have been pushed to play second base. Did a good job, but back out in center field tonight and playing well. We go to the bottom half of the 5th inning, halfway through it. Clemson 7, Charlotte nothing.
Help us keep this place looking like new. Thank you in advance for your support. All right, now it's time for the UNC Charlotte School of Data Science trivia question of the game, fans. Put on your thinking caps, and here we go. What is the average spin rate per minute in college baseball for a curveball pitch? Would it be A, 2,300 to 2,400 RPM, B, 2,200 to 2,300 RPM, or C, 2,100 to 2,200 RPM? Correct answer is A. It spins very quickly, 23 to 2,400 RPM. Thanks for playing along, fans, and thank you, UNC Charlotte School of Data Science, for providing our trivia question of the game.
Shot a home plate from center field at Truist Field. And the 49ers coming up in the bottom of the 5th inning. It'll be 8-9-1 in the batting order facing Talon Bell. Bell came on to pitch in the 3rd, so out now for his 3rd inning of work and giving the Tigers some length out of the bullpen. Starting pitcher Dane Moeller won a couple of innings. Again, coming back off Tommy John surgery, so they're being careful with him, and he threw the ball really well. No runs, 1 hit. 1 walk and 1 strikeout in his 2 innings of work. And since Bell's been out there, 1 hit. That was the double by Spencer Nolan. And he hit 1 batter, but that's been about it. Has a couple of strikeouts. His first one is ball 1 to Aaron Orozco. Niners catcher, slightly open stance with the at bat, and he takes that one at 89 at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. Orozco, just a freshman. This one is down low. before the game, Coach Woodard telling me that a lot of guys on this roster they'll get from other programs. They'll come to Charlotte and then spend 2 or 3 years and close out their college career playing for the 49ers. But you're still going to mix in a few freshmen in the mix, and Orozco is one of them, and getting some playing time here tonight. And again, if you're just tuning in, Cale Strickland, the everyday Charlotte catcher. Here's ball 4, good at bat by Orozco. Strickland got hit on a backswing against Rice behind the plate on Saturday this past weekend, and suffered a concussion. He's in the concussion protocol, so he's not available today, and don't know about this coming weekend if he'll be able to go or not, but they're going to be careful with him. And tonight, Orozco's done a nice job. He's at first base following the walk, and now here comes Sutrick. Second baseman Dillard playing up the middle, left side playing to pull as you look at the defensive alignment. Pitch is at the knees for a strike. Now, first time tonight that Charlotte gets a leadoff walk, but it's the third time in 5 innings the leadoff hitter's been on base. They'll try and put something together here and get on the board and try to get back in this game. Activity in the bullpen for Clemson, and the ball got loose, so play being held up for a moment. There's a lefty for the Tigers getting loose. And for the first time in a while, nobody throwing down in the Charlotte bullpen. Winter's done a nice job in a couple of innings. Pitch down low. It was tough with the starting pitcher tonight, Sebastian Perez, being unable to get out of the first inning. But the reliever's stepping up, and now Winter trying to, as he'll go back out for third, give them some length. Here's a shot towards center field off the bat of Sutrick, and that ball is going to get high off the wall, just missing that home run line. Rounding third is Orozco. He will score with no throw, and Charlotte is on the board. RBI double off the center field wall by Johnny Sutrick. That'll be his 10th run knocked in this season. That's his second double. And sometimes it just takes one big hit to crank up an offense. And the 8-9 guys coming through here at the start of the bottom of the 5th inning for Charlotte. And the Niners have their first run. Here's the replay, and it just missed that home run line. And one of the things you do have in college baseball is you can challenge boundary plays and something like that if you thought the ball hit the line. But watching the replay, clearly just below that home run line. That's a padded wall, and above it is a metal fence. And a lot of times when the ball gets above that yellow line, it comes off really hot because it hits the metal fence. That one clearly coming straight down off the padded wall. There's that metal retaining fence, and a lot of times the ball hit that and just pop off really hot, either sometimes taking an angle to the left or right of the center fielder, sometimes turning a double into a triple. But that was clearly just below the yellow line, and RBI double. So here's Spencer Nolan. He's 2 out of 2 today. Tigers had a conference on the mound and talked things over after a walk and a double. Puts the Niners on the board. Nolan 2 out of 2. Now facing Talon Bell. He doubled off Bell back in the 3rd and takes a strike. Batting average now at .336 for Nolan. Hasn't really hit for power, has 1 homer, but he has 10 doubles, a triple, and he has 19 RBIs. But now he's behind 0-2. That leadoff walk coming around to score. Swing and a miss. So down on strikes. 3rd strikeout for Bell. First out of the inning. Now, by the way, there was a pinch hitter. Walker Morgan was pinch hitting for Sutrick and had that RBI double. Pitch is inside, so Walker Morgan, the pinch hitter. In that DH spot, Hudson the batter. Pitch is down low. And a drive to right. That's hit well. It's way back. It is up. It is gone. Two-run home run for Todd Hudson. That'll be his 6th on the season. And just like that, Charlotte is back in the game. 3 runs here in the 5th inning. And the 49ers have made this a 7-3 ball game. Right in his wheelhouse, he turned on it and drives it into the bleachers in right field. So Hudson belting his 6th homer. 1 for 3 tonight. Now the batter is Cody Gunderson. And it looks like they may be making a pitching change here. So following the home run, they're going to go to the bullpen. That Niner dugout coming to life. 3 runs. It all started with the walk by Orozco. Then Walker Morgan with the RBI double off the center field wall. And now the home run by Todd Hudson. Bill getting some handshakes and high fives from his teammates heading into the Clemson dugout. Justin Legurnick is now in to pitch for the Clemson Tigers, left-handed pitcher. Legurnick, 6'4", 210. He's a junior out of Dix Hills, New York. 1 win, 1 loss, 3.80 ERA, 21 1/3 innings. He's only given up 16 hits, 27 strikeouts. So big strikeout number for 21 plus innings, only 9 walks. After 2 scoreless innings, Bell gives up 3 in the 5th. Goes 2 1/3.
Wondering where our Alice fellows are in the house tonight. Alice fellows.
Cody Gunderson's going to be the hitter. Justin Legurnick taking over on the mound. He's going to talk with his catcher, Jarrell, make sure they're on the same page as Gunderson makes his way to the plate. Gunderson has bounced down and fly to center field. Here's the pitch. Swinging a foul ball back. No balls and 1 strike. Now the 0-1, and it's down low. Legurnick Mid-90s fastball. The last one was 95. Comes the slider here, and the count 1-2. Dylan Kuntz on deck, then DiMartino. Gunderson in that 3 spot in the batting order tonight for the 49ers. Pitch is fouled away to the right side. Stays 1-2. Charlotte did not have a lot of scoring opportunities in the first 4 innings, but they've taken advantage of one here in the 5th. Cut on a miss, strike 3. And that'll be the second out of the inning. Gunderson strikes out. Now Dylan Kuntz. Charlotte did get a base runner into scoring position in each of the first 4 innings. Unable to get him in. One was a 2-out walk with a wild pitch. There was the double by Nolan, but then he was out in the rundown for the second out in the 3rd. And then Kuntz led off by getting hit by a pitch in the 4th inning. Later got to 3rd on a balk, but there were 2 outs. Taking advantage of the early inning opportunity here in the 5th. 1 strike on Kuntz. Outside 1-1. He's been hit by a pitch, and he's popped up to shortstop. And a foul at home plate. 94 that time from Legurnik. Kuntz hitting .308. And this one is down and away, 2-2. Wind picking up, blowing straight out towards center field. 2-2 is ball 3 off the plate. Slider missing away. Kuntz, a good take, didn't chase that pitch off the plate. There's a look at the flags and the breeze that's picked up. Charlotte has a home run in this inning. Clemson had one in the 1st inning. Here's the payoff pitch, and it's outside. A good walk by Kuntz. So he's on base for a 2nd time. Had the leadoff walk this inning, now a 2-out walk, and a lot of times those 2-out walks are just as costly and dangerous as leadoff walks. Legurnik trying to now work around that. He'll face Alec DiMartino. DiMartino's fly to center field and struck out. Came into the game batting .323. Now at .318. First pitch is on the inside corner, called a strike, a slider. That pitch looked like it might have been off the plate. Anyway, tough pitch to do anything with, though, so it was a good take there by DiMartino. It'll be an 0-1, and that one's in the dirt, gets away, and Kuntz will move to 2nd base. So Clemson is not helping themselves right now with the walks in the inning, and now a wild pitch. They're cracking the door open here in the 5th inning. At one time up 7-0. Now it's a 7-3 game, and a base hit right here by DiMartino could make this a 3-run game. Infield playing him to pull. Kuntz away from the bag at 2nd. And the pitch is outside at 95. 2-1. Outfield straight away, but again the infield playing the right-handed hitter to pull, with Dillard way up the middle at 2nd. 2-1 is inside. Slider off the plate. Another good take. A lot of patience being shown by the Charlotte hitters here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Putting together some quality at bats. Legurnik trying to work his way out of this inning. The lefty delivers, and it's fouled away. Came with a heater, 95, and DiMartino able to fight that pitch off. But now it's a full count. Big left-hander, 6'4", working off the third base side of the rubber. 3-2 delivery, and that one almost hit him. It's ball 4. Sinker at 96 with some late run right at the left kneecap of DiMartino, who's able to kind of jackknife away from it. But it is ball 4. They now runners on first and second. The tying run for Charlotte moves into the on-deck circle. This is a hitter's friendly ballpark. You make a mistake and leave one out over the plate, it's going to be a one-run game with one swing. Nedry does have 3 home runs this year. Gerald going out to talk with Legurnik how they want to face Robert Nedry. It's a lefty-on-lefty matchup here. You're looking at first base where DiMartino is standing. Kuntz on second. Nedry's been up a couple of times. A couple of ground balls to second base. Looking for a 2-out knock. 2-on-2 away, bottom half of the 5th inning. Lights coming into effect now at Truist Field. First pitch is low. Zone getting a little tight for Legurnik. There, the lights coming into effect as the sun is now going down. Here's the 1-0, and that is just off the outside. That pitch didn't look bad. And if this was a Charlotte Knights game, that catcher would be tapping his helmet and probably challenging that pitch. But you can't do that at the college level. The count 2-0. Next one, jam job, little roller up the line, tough play. Legurnik's got it, throws, got him at first base. What a play. He threw a laser right down the line and able to get at the bag Robert Nedry to get out of further trouble. But the Niners pick up 3. A home run by Hudson, and after 5, they're back in the game. Clemson leading 7-3. Well, moving along. 7-3 game. Clemson has the lead. Look at some of the luxury boxes here at Truist Field, and nice crowd here on this Tuesday night. There's the dragon that the Charlotte Knights have that lights up, and his eyes get red, and smoke comes out of the top when Charlotte Knights players hit home runs. Jay Dillard's going to lead off. The Tigers' second baseman. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Winter back on the mound for Charlotte. There is a lefty throwing in the bullpen. This is Winter's 3rd inning. Came into the start of the 4th inning. Goes upstairs with a fastball, gets a swing and miss. Top of the batting order is next. Clavon and then McClatty. 0-2 is up high, trying to change the eye level, and that time Dillard not offering at that pitch. 1-2. Next one on the outside edge, strike 3. Fastball belt high at 91 on the outside edge. First strikeout for Winter. And now Dillard's hitless in 3 at-bats. We go back up to the top of the batting order for the Tigers. Bryce Claiborne is coming up. Take a look at that pitch again. Another one, if you have the replay challenge, you might challenge it. Might be off the plate, but not so, says the umpire, Nathan Hamlet. That's a strike and a big one for the 49ers. It's a big chop over third, and the shortstop coming over. Jimenez unable to take that big bounce in the second hop. It's going to be a single. All-seeing eyes single for Bryce Claiborne. Got a couple of hard, high hops. And he gets his second hit. He's on base now for a 3rd time tonight. McClatty standing in 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored back in that 6-run first inning. So Clemson quick out of the gates tonight, but the Niners have done a nice job limiting the Tigers' offensive success since that opening inning. Just that 1 run in the 4th on the 2-out double by Savoy, and the base hit by Gaffney knocking him in. Pitch is in for a strike. In fact, those 2-out hits that produced the run, the only hit since the first inning until that hit a moment ago by Claiborne. 1 strike and a toss to first. Claiborne does have 4 stolen bases for the Tigers this season. Top of the 6th inning. Seven to 3 Clemson. Now Winter delivers up high. The runner takes off, and that time Orozco had a little bit of trouble trying to cleanly get that ball out of his glove. Got stuck in his catcher's mitt, had to double clutch it. By then it was too late, so did not make that throw to second base. It's a stolen base for Claiborne. Take a look. And just couldn't get a clean grip on it. By the time he did, it was too late, and wisely didn't throw it. So a run on second base. Pitch is high. Runner in scoring position. 1 out in the inning, 2 balls and a strike. On deck is Savoy. So back up at the top of the order now. The second place hitter, McClatty, getting his second look at Winter. He grounded out in the 4th inning. There's a toss to second, just letting Claiborne know that they're aware he's over there. Third baseman Gunderson at the cut of the grass, maybe 8 feet off the bag. Claiborne dancing around off the bag at second. Here's a ground ball to the right side. Diving as Nedry comes up throwing and out at first base. What a play by Robert Nedry. Dive into his right, saves a run, throws to first, and just nips Tyson McClatty getting down the line. He was hustling down the line. Take a look at it, first base, and how close it might have been here. Lay it out to his right side. Nedry making a great stop, then quickly gets up, fires to first. Ooh. Very close. What's the old saying? Tie goes to the runner. I believe they're challenging this, and they can challenge plays like that. They have the safety bag over at first base, which is the green bag, and you can run through that, but once you get through that bag, you got to get back to the first base bag. And take a look at it again. It looks like he hits the bag, the safety bag, before the ball is in the glove of Kuntz. It's not quite there yet. Is his foot in the bag, or is the ball in the glove? The ball might be in the glove, and he's going to be out. Well, that's some great camera work, and the umpires didn't take too long going back to look at it in the replay room. And the Tigers lose one of their 2 challenges. And that play stands, that tremendous play by Robert Nedry. Just a great play. In real time, it looked like might have been a little late on the throw, but you slow it down, you get that instant replay to slow it down frame by frame. He got him. Here's a line drive, caught in left field. Hard hit ball by Savoy. Great jump by Hudson. He runs it down. And the Niners pitch out of that inning and hold a runner over at third. Nice job by Jaden Winter. 3 innings out of the bullpen. Nice running catch in the corner by Hudson. Still 7-3 Clemson. After a scoreless top of the 6th inning, Charlotte brings the offense right back to the plate. Justin Legurnick back on the mound. He came in and got the last 2 outs in the 5th inning. Clemson 7, Charlotte 3. And the first pitch to Jimenez is going to be a fastball at 94 in there for a strike. Lower third of the batting order. Here's a high fly left field. Moore settling under it, and the center fielder coming over. Clavon called him off and made the catch. That was almost straightaway left field, and Clavon, showing his range anyway, runs over and makes the catch. And the center fielder is certainly the quarterback in the outfield, and he's calling for it. You got to let him go and get it, but he went a long way, and that was Moore's ball off the bat, and Moore was kept under it. Tigers get lucky that Clavon was able to make that catch. Here's a foul straight back. 1 strike on Orozco, who has struck out and walked. He led off last inning with a walk. Got that inning jump started. Now swings and misses. That was 95, 0-2. Morgan is on deck. Here's the pitch inside. He jumps back out of the way. Lefty fires, swing and a miss out of the glove of the catcher, but Gerald picks it up. Full throw onto first base. That sinker, 94 miles an hour, gets Orozco the strikeout. Then they put out 2-3. That'll bring up Walker Morgan. He pinched hit last inning for Sutrick and had the double off the wall. I apologize to Walker. I had Sutrick hitting that double. I didn't know Walker was pinch hitting, but great at bat. Just missed a home run. RBI double. Pitch is up high. It'll be a 1-0 on the inside corner at 93. Walker's a big guy, 6'7", infielder, pitcher, 260 pounds. He's a junior from Alabama, Montgomery, Alabama. Legurnik, 1 ball and 1 strike, delivers up high at 93, shoulder high, as Morgan kind of turned away from it. 2 outs, nobody on, 6th inning. It was close on the inside. He was able to turn away. This one down low. So 3-1. Top of the batting order is next for Charlotte. Got him. Strike 2, big swing. Fastball on the outside edge. Power against power right there. The 3-2 swing and a miss. That was 94, about belt high. And Morgan is the final out of the inning. Legurnik a 1-2-3, bottom of the 6th inning. Couple of strikeouts along the way. And as we go to the 7th inning, Clemson is up 4. A shot of the Clemson dugout. The Tigers, as we head to the 7th inning, have a 7-3 lead on the Charlotte 49ers. Clemson getting 6 in the 1st and 1 in the 4th inning. Charlotte coming back with 3 in the bottom half of the 5th. The Truist Bank building all lit up in uptown Charlotte. We're at Truist Field. The home away from home tonight for the 49ers as they take on the Clemson Tigers for a 2nd time. Clemson got them in Clemson back in February. Charlotte trying to fight from behind tonight to split the season series. Here's Luke Gaffney leading off. First pitch, a strike on the outside. A good changeup from Winter. Jaden Winter still out there. He's into his 4th inning of pitching, and he's given this pitching staff a nice boost. Good shot in the arm tonight. Some length out of the pen. Midweek game, you gotta love that if you're Coach Woodard and this Niner pitching staff and the coaching staff to get this kind of a lift here tonight by both Taylor and Winter. Taylor 2 innings. Actually, Taylor 1 inning, excuse me, and Winter now into his 4th inning. Here's the pitch outside. Even Adam Stanton, who came in relieving Sebastian Perez, he went inning and 2/3, gave up 1 unearned run. The bullpen tonight has done a good job keeping the Niners within striking distance. Now the count 2-2. Fastball just off the outside. There's been a lefty throwing in the bullpen for the Niners for a while, up and down, up and down. He's got back up again. Gerald's on deck. Swing and a miss. Good fastball, a sinker with some run on the outside. And the 2nd strikeout for Jaden Winter. Gets the first batter in the 7th inning. Just off the plate. Some late movement. Gets the swing and miss. There's Jacob Gerald. 3-run home run back in the first. Also homered in the first meeting back in February. That time the Clemson Tigers hit 4 in that game. Here's a strike. They won that game 11-1. Jumped out quick tonight, but again the Niners trying to work their way back. Now in the later innings, Clemson batting in the 7th. 1 strike on Gerald. Now strike 2. Foul ball back on the netting. Came with a fastball again, and Winter's been impressive with that fastball, moving it around, hitting his spots. Changing the hitter's eye level. The 0-2, a little bit low. Went change up that time, and now the count 1-2. But now you've shown the change up. Does he go back to the fastball? Maybe climb the ladder. They got the shift on with the infielders. 3 on the left side, just the first baseman on the right side of the infield. On the outside, didn't get the call that time. And now 2-2. Went with the sinker. The pitch that he struck Gaffney out off the plate, hoping to get a swing and get him to chase it. Didn't extend the zone. So now 2-2. Winter working out of the windup. Now delivers, and it's popped up into shallow right. Playable. Alec DiMartino's under it. He's got it. Now 2 away. And here comes Lichtenberger. A walk in the first, a couple of ground outs since. There was that great play on the stretch at first base by Kuntz on that grounder in the 5th inning. Here's the pitch, foul ball left side. So Winter is 1 out away from getting through 4 innings out of the pen. Clemson leads by 4 in the top of the 7th. No shift this time. Foul ball back out of play. So you got pretty much straight away with the defense, which we haven't seen much of that. But against Lichtenberger, this is the way they want to approach it defensively. Looks like it's about as straight away as you're going to get with the lefty at the plate. Ground ball back to the mound. Now, what a job by Jaden Winter. Boy, he has really picked up his club, kept him right in it. 7th inning stretch time in Uptown Charlotte. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Winter. Clemson 7 and Charlotte 3. Clemson's already played here one time this season against Wake Forest. Didn't go well for them. They're trying to split their 2 games in Uptown Charlotte this season. And here in the bottom of the 7th inning, the Tigers lead Charlotte 7-3. LeGurnick back on the mound, and he throws a strike on the outside. Had a 1-2-3 6th inning, overpowering with a couple of strikeouts. Came in, got the last 2 outs in the 5th. Top of the order, Spencer Nolan. Here's the 0-1. In the air to right field. McClatty backing up on the track and making the catch. Had some room out there in front of the auxiliary scoreboard. So the leadoff hitter Nolan at the top of the order flies to right. He's now 2 for 4 on the night. And the batter is Todd Hudson, who belted a 2-run homer back in the 5th inning. He hit it into the bleachers in right field. And that brought us to our score right now, 7-3. He's 1 for 3 tonight. First pitch is in for a strike at 94 miles an hour. Left on left with this matchup. Working off the third base side of the rubber. LeGurnick's pitch is cut out and missed. Went slider that time. And he's out in front 0-2. Gotta believe Winter's night is over, and that lefty who's been thrown to the bullpen is most likely going to come in as we head to the 8th inning. It'll be an 0-2 outside again with a slider. Good take by Hudson. That home run gives Hudson 6 on the season. Now 29 RBIs, batting average of .353. LeGurnick's 1-2. Foul ball. Third Clemson pitcher of the night. Clemson trying to get their 24th win, get back to 10 games over 500. Charlotte looking for their 19th win. Trying to snap a slide right now. Team's been banged up with all kinds of injuries. There's a slider up, but gets a swing and miss. That's a strikeout. That's 4 now for LeGurnick. And he's now set down 6 in a row going back to the last out in the 5th inning. Cody Gunderson coming up. 0 for 3. Charlotte's third baseman. And a swing and miss. Strike 1. Clemson out hitting Charlotte 7-4. LeGurnick out of the windup, and he bounces that one, goes change up and in the dirt. Dylan Kuntz would be next. Just shy of 2,000 here tonight. Chase Carson, the lefty in the bullpen. Swing and a miss. Off speed again. So he's gone change up, now slider. You wonder if he's going to try to hit that outside corner or rise up with a fastball. 1-2. Now he went breaking ball again, a slider, but gets the swing and miss. And another 1-2-3 inning by LeGurnick. He's now fanned 5, and he's now set down 7 consecutive Charlotte 49ers. End of 7 in Uptown Charlotte. The Clemson Tigers have a 7-3 lead.
Just make a U-turn to the left and enjoy the Papermill Pub. Corona Non-Alcoholic is the official non-alcoholic beer of the Charlotte Knights. The refreshing taste of Corona without the alcohol. Contains less than 0.5% alcohol by volume. Relax responsibly.
And we head down to the 8th inning. Beautiful night here in the Queen City. About 7-8 blocks from here. Got the Charlotte Hornets tonight taking on the Miami Heat. First Hornets home playoff game in many, many years. What a season they've had. And here at the ballpark, it is Clemson and Charlotte. Clemson in the 8th inning, leading the 49ers 7-3. And how about this? Jaden Winters back on the mound, back out for his 5th inning of work. The pitcher that was throwing in the bullpen, Carson, is sat down. Nobody throwing at the moment in that bullpen for Charlotte. And Winters been really good. Been out there since the 4th inning, and in that inning gave up back-to-back hits with 2 outs and a run, but nothing since. Just 1 hit, no run since. Here's the 2-0. Swing and a fly ball to left. Hudson will make the catch. So Fultz got that down towards the handle. That pitch in just enough by Winter. 1 down in the 8th. Well, I can't say enough of what this bullpen has done tonight for the 49ers. Clemson 6 out of the gates. Had the early lead, the big lead, and had a lot of momentum. But the Charlotte bullpen has kept them right in this game. Swing and a miss. First pitch to Moore. Moore a 2-run double back in the 1st inning. 1 for 3. That capped off the scoring. That 2-run double. Here's a smash. That'll be a base hit out towards center. And Nolan's going to play it back in. 1 out hit. Just the 2nd hit since the 4th inning. And the 4th one given up by Jaden Winter. And now another pitcher is going to get up in that Charlotte bullpen. She still might be the one who was warming up.
21, Jake Dillard at the plate.
It is. That's Chase Carson, the left-hander. He's back up again. He's got a lot of work in that bullpen tonight. Open again in the game soon. Jay Dillard standing in the box, swings, and he foul tips one at home plate. The runner was going. Moore has to get back. Clemson trying to be aggressive in this 8th inning, looking for more runs. It's a good hitter's ballpark. They don't feel comfortable right now with a 4-run lead. Looking for more in the 8th. Jackson Moore back at first base. Winter out of the stretch. Double play gets you out of the inning. Again, they got the shift on with the infielders. Runner takes off again, and there's a base hit through the right side. He'll go first to third. They throw all the way to third, and he's going to be out at third. What a throw by DiMartino. He was running on the pitch, and he's still thrown out at third base. Alec DiMartino throwing an absolute laser from right field on 1 hop to Gunderson, who put the tag on him, and Moore is out. Watch this. Hit and run, and he was around the bag at second before DiMartino had the ball in his glove. That is a sensational throw right there. Perfect throw, and Gunderson put the tag on him. It is a single. The outfield assist goes 9-5. At first base is Dillard, his first hit tonight. Here's the top of the batting order. Bryce Clavon has a couple of singles and a hit by a pitch and a run scored. 2 out of 3 officially. Still 7-3. Now the pitch. Foul ball to the right. 2 outs in the inning. So running on the pitch, Moore still is unable to get to third. With that tremendous throw by DiMartino. Doesn't get any better than that. Here's the pitch up high. Throw to first behind him, but getting back is Dillard. Close play. Good throw by Orozco. I was told before the game that Kuntz has not played a lot of first base. He's played it tonight like he's been there all year long. He's been fantastic. It'll be a 1-1 down low. So Winter trying to finish up 5 innings of relief. A little help this inning from his right fielder. Top of the 8th. It'll be a 2-1 and inside 3-1. McClatty is on deck. Now he is a lefty, and you would think if he comes up, they would make the pitching change. It'll be a 3-1 swing and a miss. But Winter can still work his way through this inning if he can retire Clavon right now. Count 3-2. So on this pitch, Dillard will be running. Now the first baseman, Kutz, gets off the bag. Got the second baseman again on the shortstop side, not by a lot, but definitely on the shortstop side of the bag with the shift on. Now the 3-2 pitch, runner goes. Strike 3, a fastball at the knees. Boy, what a job by Jaden Winter. Some help in right field by DiMartino, but Winter 5 innings out of the bullpen tonight for the 49ers. We go to the middle of 8. Still Clemson out on top. The score, 7-3 Tigers.
Visit us at fsioffice.com.
We'll check out tonight's clips of the game, sponsored by our friends at Great Clips. We're having a great time down here tonight. Take a look at the video boards, everyone.
The Tigers running out to the outfield during the half-inning break, getting some stretching in, staying loose as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Now they're heading back towards their dugout. 7 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Tigers. 3 runs, 4 hits, and 1 error for the 49ers. See 6 runs coming in the first. Clemson jumping out quickly. Charlotte getting 3 back in the 5th, getting back in the game. But now they're down to their final 6 outs. We'll see if they can get something going here. But on the flip side, Justin Legurnick has been solid out of the bullpen for the Tigers. Came in after the home run with Hudson. And after striking Gunderson out, he walked a couple of hitters back to back. But since then, he's not allowed a base runner. Has retired 7 consecutive. And a ground ball here to the right side. The second baseman was playing way out in right field and cost them a hit. There's how the shift can come back and bite you. He was way out there in the outfield, and that was a routine ground ball. Turns into an infield single. And a situation like this with a 4-run lead, you're only putting guys on base. But he was way out there in right field, had to go far to his right side. By the time he got to it, there was no chance at throwing out Kuntz. So it's an infield single. Ground ball goes about at 95 feet, base hit. Here comes DiMartino. Had that great throw from right field in the top of the inning, throwing out a runner at third. He's 0 for 2 with the walk in the game, and the pitch here is down and away. Sometimes the shift will certainly help you. Other times can get you. And that time it wasn't just the shift. They had the right fielder back and the second baseman way out into shallow right field. Pitch is inside. Now 2-0. Second baseman not shifting with the right-hander DiMartino up. DiMartino sitting 318. The 2-0, foul ball. Ran that sinker on his hands, and DiMartino dropped the hands down and foul it off. That's 94 miles an hour. So the velocity still there for Legurnik. Still 94, 95 with his fastball. Robert Nedry's on deck. There's action down in the Tigers bullpen. 2-1, cut on and missed. Again, the heater at 94. He struck out 5. Again, those 2 walks back in the 5th inning. And the hit by Kuntz, the first hit that he's given up. It'll be a 2-2. Here it comes. Outside, 3-2. Now, if he were to lose DiMartino, the tying run would be in the on-deck circle. That would be Jimenez, who has 1 home run this season. If Nedry could get on base, that would bring up the tying run. But first, DiMartino has to work his way on, and he will. Ball 4. 2 on base, nobody out. They've got that pitcher in the bullpen. Here comes Robert Nedry. No move yet from the Tigers dugout, but the catcher, Gerald, goes out and might be buying some time, and now we got some movement from the dugout. Pitching coach Jimmy Belanger is going to go out to the mound. All the infielders now on the mound, joining the catcher, Gerald. So you got Kuntz on second, DiMartino at first base. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Clemson with a 7-3 lead. There's the action down to the Clemson bullpen. At the moment, nobody throwing in the Charlotte pen. Winter's been able to pitch 5 terrific innings for the Niners. Legurnik, after Bell began to falter in the 5th, has come in and done a great job of the Tigers. But now he's in a little bit of trouble with 2 on and nobody out in the 8th inning. And here's a spot where you don't want to make a mistake. You hang one and it's a 1-run game. I'm sure that was part of the conversation. Still want to pitch your game and attack the zone, but don't make a mistake out over the plate right here. Here's the pitch. Over but low at 93. Nedry's 0 for 3. Third base umpire stopping play. And maybe time was called before that pitch, and that would take the pitch away. And now the Charlotte head coach, Robert Woodard, coming out to ask. He's talking with the plate umpire. Not sure if that's what was being said, but they're waving something off from third base, and it was the pitch. Time was called. And coach is going to argue this, but I don't think it's going to change anything. And while this goes on, Legurnik thinking about it. Now Coach Woodard talking to the first base umpire. So the count, 0-0. They start up the pitch clock, which is 20 seconds. Runners on base. Legurnik off that third base side of the rubber. Left on left with this matchup. And now the pitch. Swing and a ground ball up the middle. That's going to be smothered by the second baseman, but no play after that. And Charlotte has loaded the bases on their second infield hit of the inning. This one by Nedry, his first knock today. That loads the bases and brings up the tying run. In a 7-3 game, the batter is going to be Adrian Jimenez. Mentioned a moment ago as we watch this play again by the second baseman, Dillard. Nice job to get to it, dive, keep the ball in the infield, and save a run. But they don't get an out, and there's nobody out, and Charlotte here in the 8th inning has loaded the bases. Jimenez 0 for 2 with a walk, and now they're going to make the move to the bullpen. Potentially. Haven't seen the signal yet. Eric Bakich, the head coach, in his 4th season with the Tigers. The pitcher in the bullpen. Veazey. Ariston Veazey. 6'1". Right-handed pitcher from Peachtree City, Georgia. Haven't made the move yet. Now they do. They make that call to the bullpen, and Veazey's going to come in. Coming in with the bases loaded. Jimenez is the scheduled hitter. Veazey coming into work. Legurnick, the 3 on base, still his responsibility. He went 2 2/3 innings. Right now, 2 hits, no runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. But the 3 on base belong to him. Veazey coming in. No record, 2.51 ERA. This appearance in the 8th inning will take him into his 15th inning of work. He's now gone 14 1/3 this season. He's appearing in his 12th game. 5 hits, 4 runs, and 14 1/3. Now he's walked 10. That's a high walk number for 14 1/3 innings, but he has struck out 18. And batters only hitting 109 against Veazey. So they like to see a strikeout or 2 in this spot, bringing him in to try and get a punch out, then maybe a double play ground ball to get you out of the inning. Jimenez will be trying to put it in play and find a hole. Get a pitch he can drive. He's the tying run. Tonight has walked and twice fly to center. One time Clavon making that running catch out in left field. I say fly to the center fielder, but it was really out to left field, and Clavon ran all the way over there and ran in front of Moore, the left fielder, to make the catch. That was back in the 6th inning, leading off. So Jimenez waiting for Veazey to finish up his warm-ups. Charlotte has loaded the bases. Got Coons over at 3rd, DiMartino on 2nd base, and Nedry on 1st base. 2 infield singles sandwiched around the walk from DiMartino. They've not torn the cover off the ball here in the 8th inning, but that doesn't matter. They've loaded the bases. And a base hit right here could make this a 2-run game. An extra base hit could clear the bases. Clavon playing rather shallow in center field. Send one to the gap. There's a good chance 3-run score. Here's the pitch, and it's going to be a strike on the inside at 93. So it's a right matchup. Jimenez wearing those bright pink batting gloves. Does not stand all the way back in the box. About halfway up on the right side. Infield at double play depth. They'll give up a run to get 2 outs. Here's a foul off to the right. Get a fastball. And now Veazey's ahead. 0-2. And here's where Jimenez just wants to protect, wants to put the ball in play and make something happen. Nobody out. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. So Veazey comes in, gets that first strikeout. 94 on the outside. getting the swing and miss. That's exactly what Bakich was hoping for. So now there's one down. Here comes Orozco. Couple of strikeouts and a walk today. Run scored. Got Walker Morgan on deck. Bases loaded, one away. 8th inning. Swing and a miss. Charlotte has left 6 on base so far. 4 of those in scoring position. And now time as they're talking with the hitter, Orozco. Beasley waiting patiently on top of the mound. Getting the scouting report on Veazey. What to expect here. Also give him a little reset, stepping out of the box for a moment. Clemson 7, Charlotte 3. Charlotte has the bases loaded here in the 8th inning with 1 out. Veazey just came on to get a big strikeout of Jimenez. Now facing Aaron Orozco, the catcher. And a good take off the outside. 94 off the plate. And now 1-1. Third baseman Foltz really guarding the line behind the bag. Swing and a miss. Nothing but heat right now from Veazey. He'll keep throwing it until they show they can do something with it. It'll be a 1-2. Orozco waiting, and now swings and misses. Fastball again, right on by the swing. He got Jimenez with a 94-mile-an-hour heater, and against Orozco on a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Back-to-back punch-outs. That's exactly what they were hoping to see with the bases loaded when they brought Veazey in the game. And now the Clemson Tiger right-hander 1 out away from getting him out of this big bases-loaded jam. Here comes Walker Morgan. Morgan's not played a lot this season, but made the most of his opportunity as a pinch hitter in the 5th inning with a double off the center field wall. He's the tying run right now. And after all those fastballs, Veazey says, take this. A first pitch curve, snapping that one over the plate. No balls at 1 strike. That's almost not fair. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a pop foul out of play. Back to the heater. But now the youngster Morgan is in a 2-strike hole. Nothing in 2 on Walker Morgan. And his first RBI of the season with that pinch hit double in the 5th. Just missed a homer high off the center field wall. Now the count 1-3. Good take on that high fastball. He's 6'7", and that fastball from Veazey was still shoulder high. It'll be a 1-2. Got him. That time curveball. Veazey comes in with the bases loaded and nobody out. And what does he do? Strikes out Jimenez, strikes out Orozco, and strikes out Morgan. The Niners come up empty. Wicked hook right there. We played 8. Clemson 7, Charlotte 3.
Secure your seats right now by heading to charlotte49ers.com/tickets under baseball. Hope to see you at the Hayes next Tuesday evening. attention, please. The pitcher on the hill for Charlotte, number 12, Chase Carson. Carson, number 12, the 49ers pitcher.
Well, we move now to the ninth inning. New pitcher out of the bullpen for the 49ers, Chase Carson. It's his 19th appearance in the season. See his numbers right there, 2-2, 5.66 ERA. Big guy, 6'4", 205, graduate senior. Lefty's from Topeka, Kansas. And played at Fair State Community College before becoming a Charlotte 49er. So his job right now, keep this a 4-run game and give his offense a shot in the bottom of the ninth inning. But again, what a great job out of the bullpen by Vesey, coming in with the bases loaded, nobody out, and then striking out 3 consecutive Niners and not giving up a run. So still a 4-run game. Niners have 3 on 6 hits and 1 error. Tigers 7-9-0. And the first pitch from Carson is cut on a miss, strike 1. McClatty leading off, and then Savoy and Gaffney. 2, 3, 4 in the Clemson batting order. Foul tip behind the plate, 0-2 on a big curve. Clemson got 6 in the first. The Niners inning that got them on the board was the 3-run 5th. That's all their runs tonight. They've left 9 on base. They've had some opportunities, but Clemson making big pitches in those spots. Swing and a miss. Down he goes. Got him on a slider. So a strikeout for Carson. Tremendous night by Jaden Winter. What a job he did out of the bullpen. Take a look at that pitch again by Carson. Good pitch right there. Winter, 5 innings, 5 hits. He allowed 1 run, didn't walk anybody, and struck out 3 Tigers. Did a really nice job. Here's a strike. Drops a curve in there. Nate Savoy has 2 hits, a single and a double. He has scored twice. He's 2 out of 4 in the game. Clemson leading 7-3. Top of the 9th. Foul ball right side. There is action. In fact, 2 pitchers throwing in the Charlotte bullpen. There's 1 throwing in the Tigers bullpen. So Vesey got the Tigers out of the 8th. Might see somebody else for the 9th. And if we do, well, Vesey did his job and did it very well. Carson has the sign. Big windup. Struck him out. Over the top curveball, and he buried at the feet of Savoy. Gets that half swing. Savoy couldn't check up in time. And now Luke Gaffney will be the hitter for the Tigers. There's that Tigers bullpen. Carson was throwing a long time in the bullpen before he came in, but he's sharp right now. Gaffney 1 for 4, RBI single. Also knocked in a run in that 6-run first with a ground out. He'll take the first pitch outside. Had the RBI hit in the 4th, the only run that Winter gave up in his 5 innings. 2-out RBI single. It'll be a 1-0 inside. Now 2-0. If you look at the Charlotte 9th inning, it'll be the top of the batting order. Spencer Nolan leading off, then Todd Hudson and Cody Gunderson. And maybe against a different Clemson pitcher. Here's the 2-0 in the dirt. Clemson can hang on and win. They'll sweep the 2-game season series. They beat the Niners back in Clemson in February. Now trying to win here tonight in Uptown Charlotte. Here's the pitch. Strike. 3-1. Charlotte's infield straight back. Second baseman Shady just a bit up the middle. 3-1 is popped up. Heading towards the first base seats. It'll get back in there. Over the netting and in the crowd. And now the count is 3-2. James Carson trying to work a nice clean top of the ninth inning. Still a lot of Niner fans over on the first base side and good number of Clemson Orange on the third base side of Truist Field. Here comes the 3-2. A little bit high with that curveball. Left it up just a little bit, and it's ball 4. Jacob Gerald now getting a bat in the ninth inning. And the big shot in the first, a 3-run homer that made it 4-0. And then later in the inning, the 2-run double by Jackson Moore. Big 6-run first. And that's really been the difference in this game. They came out swinging. Gaffney at first base. He has not stolen a base this season, but Carson keeping him close anyway. Now here comes Coach Woodard. He does have a pitcher in the bullpen. There's 2 outs here in the ninth inning. Charlotte down 7-3. Looks like he might be making a move. Hasn't made the call yet. And now he has. So with 2 outs in this ninth inning, they're going to make the call to the bullpen. In fact, he hadn't made it yet. Now he just did. The pitcher in the bullpen was heading in. Ryan Combs was heading in, but hadn't really been officially called upon yet. Once he was, he then made his movement in the bullpen a little bit quicker. So Carson gets the first 2 on strikes. He walks Gaffney, and now Combs is coming in to try and get the last out here in this ninth inning. Ryan Combs. .6'3" right-hander. He's a senior from Sarasota, Florida. Polk State Community College and the University of Tennessee before he became a Charlotte 49er. 1 win, no losses this season. 8.16 ERA. It's his 14th game. 14 to third innings, 21 hits allowed, 13 runs. He's walked 9, struck out 24, so a big strikeout number in those 14 to third innings. But opposing hitters are hitting .344, so when they make contact, they're having success. But he is striking out a lot. He's also walked a high number. Correction, that number on the screen is wrong. He's only walked 9. But he has struck out 24. He's going to face Gerald, who homered in the first inning. There's a shot of the Niner dugout. Looking for a 9th inning rally. While Clemson's going to most likely turn to another pitcher in the bullpen to try and close it out in the bottom of the 9th. Trying to tack on some more runs before this top half of the inning is over. Gerald came into the game hitting .266. But now 14 home runs, 35 RBIs. In the ball game, he's 1 for 4. And now Combs has finished up the warm-up tosses. He'll pick up the rosin bag and now go to work. Right matchup. Combs comes set. And the first one is cut out and missed. Good first pitch curve. He had him out in front.
It's number 9 at the plate, Jacob
Well,
General.
that Heat Hornets game is in the third quarter. About 7-8 blocks from here at Spectrum Center. 54-54. The 8-9 play-in game. And it's a good one right now in the third quarter. Pitch is in for a strike. Nothing and 2 on Gerald. Got the big shift down with the infielders. The third baseman, Gunderson, is guarding the line. Here's the pitch. Foul ball. Trying to make sure nothing gets by him between the line and the third baseman. Again, 3 infielders on the left side. Nobody on the right side. 100 feet of open space with the first baseman holding on the runner. 2 strikes the count. Now Combs pitches. And it's in the ground. It still finds the hole through the left side between second base and shortstop. And now going to third and beating the throw and getting back at the bag safely is Gaffney. He slid around the bag on the inside, but reached back and grabbed it before a tag again was applied by Gunderson. Now first and third as they try to stretch out the lead in the 9th inning. And the Niners want to challenge it on that tag. They're going to challenge it to see if they got him before he got his hand back on the bag. He slid by. And did Gunderson get him? Going to watch the replay here. He slides. His hand comes off the bag. Close. Looked like that left hand was on top of the bag before Gunderson put the tag on top of his hand. Again, if they slow it down even more, frame by frame, we'll see if his hand had got to the bag yet. And that's what the umpires will be looking for. But that was a great shot by our third base camera. Right on it. But even with the shift on, they got the base hit. Again, a look at third as he slid and went over the bag. Couldn't keep a hold of it. Came off. Had the presence of mind to reach quickly back with his left hand. And he's safe. And the ruling by the umpires on the replay is safe. And that last shot, they slowed it down as much as they could. And that was the great shot to see that his hand was right on the bag before the tag. It was very close, and in real time it was extremely close. But now you got Coach Woodard coming out again. Got another pitcher in the bullpen. Right now it's a 4-run game, and Coach Woodard trying to keep it a 4-run game. He's got another lefty in the bullpen. I believe that's A.J. Camp. We'll see if they bring Camp into the game. He's still hanging out waiting, and now Coach Woodard, after a lengthy chat with his pitcher, is going to bring him in. Still coaching these guys before making the move, and wasn't like he was buying any more time for Camp. Camp had stopped warming up, but Coach Woodard wanted to stress the teaching point with Ryan Combs before making the move. And now they've got runners on first and third. And after facing one batter, Combs is out of the game. Doesn't get anybody out. Gives up the 1 hit. Base runner's his responsibility. Gaffney on third is still Carson's responsibility. And now A.J. Camp is coming in. Camp, 1 win, 1 loss, a 4.71 ERA. This will be his 17th game, all out of the bullpen. 21 innings for Camp, 21 hits, 11 earned runs. He's walked 10, struck out 27. And opposing batters hitting .273 against him. Now the inning began with 2 strikeouts for Chase Carson. But then he walked Gaffney, and they made the pitching change and brought in Combs, and he gave up the base hit to Gerald. And now they make a change again and bring in A.J. Camp. Camp becomes the 7th 49er to pitch in this game. Lichtenberger's coming up in this spot. A base hit would stretch out the lead to 5 runs. There's a righty now getting up in the Charlotte pen. Activity continuing for Clemson. If the lead gets too big, they might make a change and bring in a different pitcher. So they had one guy warming up, and now another has started. And it might be one of those situations where if the lead gets big enough, Clemson might throw a different pitcher. Charlotte trying to keep it a 4-run game right now. Runners on the corners. Lichtenberger now making his way to the plate. He has walked and grounded out 3 times. The walk was in the first inning. He scored 1 of the 6 runs for the Tigers. It'll be a left-on-left matchup with Camp coming in. Camp setting up on the first base side of the pitching rubber. 3 infielders now on the right side with the 49ers shift. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Off speed, a good slider. And Camp gets it in front, 0-1. The outfielders coming in for the Niners. Here's a pop-up behind the plate. Now drifting in front of the plate, coming over the first baseman Kutz, and he makes the catch. That ball went up and it drifted back into fair ground, and Kutz came over to make the grab, and that will end the inning, and the Niners get out of trouble in the top of the 9th. Top of the batting order coming up in the bottom of the 9th inning. Clemson leads 7-3. Bottom of the 9th inning, Clemson going to the bullpen. Danny Nelson coming in. So Danny Nelson taking over in this 9th inning. It'll be his 12th appearance. He's 1-2, a 5.17 ERA. This is not a save situation with a 4-run lead, but he's had 1 save opportunity, and I beg your pardon, he's had a couple, and he's got them both. But it's not a save situation. So Nelson trying to close it out. He's gone 15 2/3 innings, 19 hits, 11 runs, 9 earned, 5 walks, 27 strikeouts. Top of the batting order for Charlotte. Leading off is Spencer Nolan, and he flies the first pitch into shallow right. And the second baseman's going to call everybody off, and Dillard makes the catch. So Nolan, who led off the first with a single, had a double in the third. Swings the first pitch here in the 9th inning and pops up in a short right, and Dillard makes the play. Still has those sunglasses on top of his baseball cap. He's not needed those in about 4 innings, but it looks cool. Here's Todd Hudson. The pitch. That is in there for a strike. Veazey was terrific last inning with the 3 strikeouts when Charlotte loaded the bases with nobody out. Struck out 3 straight coming in the game and got him out of the inning unscathed. Pitch outside, 1-1. Hudson, a home run in the 5th inning, a 3-run inning. It was a 2-run homer, but a 3-run inning for Charlotte. All their runs tonight coming in that 5th inning. Check swing, they appeal at third base. He went around. And now 1-2 the count. They got that shift on again. The second baseman Dillard's way out there in right field. High fly ball. Clavon saying he's got it. The center fielder waiting and making the catch. So now Charlotte is down to their final out and needs a 2-out rally to get back in this one. Clemson 1 out away from picking up their 24th win and sweeping the season series 2-0 with the 49ers. Trying to win their 18th game in this series overall to go 18-4 against Charlotte in the overall all-time series. Pitch is outside. Last 10 games coming into this one, Clemson had won 8 of the 10. They'd won 3 consecutive games before tonight. Here's the 1-0 swing and a ground ball base hit. Gunderson keeps the Niners' 9th inning hopes alive. A 2-out single. That's his first knock today. And now Dylan Kuntz will make his way to the plate. He's been on base 3 times. He's had a really good overall game at the plate and defensively at first base. At the plate, he's popped up and hit by a pitch, walked and singled. An infield single with the shift on. They put that shift on again with Dillard out in short right field. The pitch to Kuntz. He will take a strike. Breaking ball starting off the at-bat. 2 outs, 9th inning. Tigers an out away, and the 49ers trying to get something going here with 2 outs. 7-3 Clemson. Now the 0-1 swing and a miss. Well, big thanks to our director tonight, Terry Estevez, doing a great job. All the fine cameramen and women here tonight giving us some great shots. There's the bullpen of the Tigers. Somebody warming up just in case. 0-2 on Kuntz. Outside. 1-2. It'll be a 1-2. Ball 2 outside. Good take by Kuntz. 94 miles an hour off the plate. DiMartino is the on-deck hitter. Kuntz trying to get him up in the 9th inning. The 2-2. Got him. That's the ball game as Danny Nelson strikes him out and works a scoreless 9th inning. And Clemson gets their 24th win of the season and sweeps the 2-game season series with the 49ers. Charlotte had some opportunities here tonight. A lot of runners left on base, left the bases loaded last inning. And the Clemson Tigers win this ball game 7-3. Clemson now 24-14. Head back into ACC play this weekend. The Niners drop to 18-18. And they lost their 8th consecutive ball game. They will head down to San Antonio this week to take on UTSA in a Friday, Saturday, Sunday series in San Antonio. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm Matt Swarad saying so long from Truist Field here in Uptown Charlotte, where the final score is Clemson 7 and Charlotte 3. All games airing on the ESPN network are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. So long, everybody.